Alrighty. So, in last week's chapter of the Arcane Archives, our band of adventurers were skulking about around a very muddy and swampy pond that they found in the middle of the woods on their travels from Celeria to a town called Frayes. There were some fish-like and very eerie-looking creatures that had devoured some adventurers before them, and as the group went to go and confront these creatures, they started to see the water bubble, and emerging from the depths of that very large pond was a 5-headed reptilian creature that they all discerned was a hydra. After a short but intense battle, the party very quickly decimated this hydra after cutting off one of its heads, and June unfortunately going down for a little bit after getting whack-a-moled around like a tennis ball. But no harm came to the party other than that, as they collected some of the remains from the hydra and moved on with their goal to Frayes. Still traveling to Frayes to look into the lack of communication from the mayor there on behalf of Chester, as well as Chester said that there might be a link between what happened and the Goliath that they've been searching for. Halfway, or about a day out from the city, the party ran into a small blockade with a blue bannered cart and 4 individuals that were stopping travelers as they went and coin checking them to see their nationality or where their residency was. Zio recognizing the color and the banner that they had as a noble house from Uthran, the Cornelio house. After a fairly tense discussion, but not too eventful, the party was able to pass and to continue on to Frayes, not before the group that stopped them took note of them and wrote it down in a large ledger. Where we exactly left off last session was the vision and the skyline of the town, the sea salt smell in the air, and all of the previously bright and vibrant colored banners changed to a low teal blue color, as they were informed that Cornelio infiltrated Frayes and has taken it over in the name of Uthran. And that is where we will pick up. You all stand probably about a half mile outside of the city. You see what were the orange banners from before, now switched over to that blue, and you see some people coming in and out. It does look slower than the last time some of you traveled through, not as bustling as before. But as you all stand here to contemplate your thoughts, what would you all like to do?
I'd like to contemplate my thoughts.
If you do that to yourself, I don't know why you had to announce it.
Forgot I'm muted. Well, the joke wasn't. Joke's gone. I have an inner monologue, is what I said.
Well, you said that we are arriving into town now?
Yeah, you're about a half mile out.
Okay. Yeah, I've got nothing more to say than the speech I gave.
Do you all know how long Cornelio has been in power here? Did we already discuss that?
It had to have been very recently. I'm assuming that that is the one thing that we were kind of here to check out. How long ago did Chester say that they lost contact with the mayor?
Couple months.
So
They started noticing that there was no replies or communication back and forth.
A
About
couple months,
couple
few
ago.
months.
Yeah.
I wonder if it kind of makes my brain turn in. Maybe the mayor was in on it or killed.
Would a man really throw up his power to somebody new or somebody he
Would you for 10 gold or 10,000?
10 gold.
10 gold, town's yours.
I meant 10,000.
To that point, I mean, that's fair, but he would become almost a criminal in his empire he serves for. It doesn't make sense.
At this point, this is all hearsay. Why speak about things we know nothing of? What a
Just
cliche
dangerous.
thing to say.
It's just to keep our ears open in case we hear something.
I agree. We need to be on our toes going in here.
I also think that we need to kind of lay low. If there are any members of the Bureau in the town, you know, after what we did in Merkmoto Springs, they might be keeping an eye out for us too.
That's a good idea. Do we...
Well, hopefully the Bureau doesn't know that we're the ones that did that. We kind of did kill everybody that we saw there associated with the Bureau.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of 2 orc, 1 Furborg, 1 Tabaxi groups out there, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably true.
I think we should
around town.
probably best hide ourselves at first until we understand the situation.
Do I recall what because you said that we had must have gone through this town. So for those of us that have gone through this town, do we recall a tavern or an inn would be a better word for it that we could stay at if we know
it's a
they
large
seem like
enough
a
town.
low-key?
Since it's a port town, it is fairly large and they have a lot of traffic in and out. So you can say there's probably more than one.
Right, but I mean, like, do I remember the one I stayed at before, and do I remember if it
Yeah,
was,
history check.
do I remember if it was, not exclusive, but down low? If it was on the down low.
Oh, if it was like a secret one?
Not secret, but just like low profile. Wasn't like you know, not like a place out of the way. I don't want to say like secret, not a safe house, but you know, just something that's that is, I believe, an 11. I rolled a 10, and I think
remember one that you would have stayed at. It would be called the Swallow.
I remember one that I stayed at, and it is called the Swallow.
Would I have known any of like
I think that's what your
higher
purple
class,
friend did to you.
Was it?
Would I have known of any higher class establishments here?
Were you
Make
watching?
an intelligence check, but it's not an Uthranian town, so.
Intelligence?
I don't believe I would have
Actually,
traveled
wisdom.
through here
It's gonna be wisdom.
at all.
Wisdom? Okay, I figured I
You
probably
not
would have
have it there, no.
traveled
Okay,
through
I'm
here,
just making
so
sure.
maybe I would have stayed at some finer establishments here. That's not looking good though. Wisdom check. Oh, -2. 7.
No, you probably stayed at the Swallow too.
I got a really bad memory. I don't remember too much about this place. It was not
Wonder
been
what their
that nice.
competitor is name. It doesn't matter.
Don't. Just
The
don't.
spit.
There it is.
There it
Oh,
is.
okay, I want to ask. I want to ask
Okay.
Zio something.
Yes, Ecclesias.
Zio, can I ask you something?
Not opening my eyes. Anyway.
Okay.
Academy Awards,
I'm-
Emmy. Academy Awards, Emmy.
Oh god.
Zio, can I ask you something?
Yes, of course, Ecclesias.
This citizenship coin, they seem to make a big deal of this. If we don't have this, are we in trouble? Could we spend time behind bars or something worse?
No, it's not the biggest deal. It's sort of.
I think of a really easy way around this, though. If me and Zio have coins from Uthran, then we can just give you coins from Uthran, and then you can lie and say you're from Uthran. I don't know why I took so long to explain this. Maybe I don't understand it.
I was going to say,
I did have
one
one.
wrong, Nalar. I thought you.
No, I said because I rummaged through it and I like kind of made a terrible joke. By terrible, I mean it just wasn't a good one. That like I was searching through the coins, not really knowing what's going on. I was like, is it this one? No, this one. Yeah, I did that.
But I know you did that, but did you actually? I don't think you actually have a.
I thought I portrayed it as I actually had one. But
Remember you just saying
we
that, like,
can
hey, you
retcon
guys know about the North? And they're like, yeah, we know about this. And I know the North
Yeah,
North.
yeah,
And they're
I
like,
don't
oh
believe
yeah,
you
I'm
have
from
a
there.
challenge coin because you didn't live in a city.
oh, is
Yeah.
it not? I thought it was like literally the gold coin. I didn't
No,
realize
it's a
it was a
citizenship
challenge.
coin, is what it is.
Oh,
Oh, you have like a
yeah,
world
no, I didn't have-
traveler's
yeah, no, I
pocket,
didn't.
and you're like pulling out different denominations
Yeah,
from
so
different
I
countries.
literally.
Oh, I'm from Puerto
It's
Rico.
like this gold coin. Like I'm not trying to bribe him, but he probably thinks I was trying to bribe him. He's like got his hand out.
What, one gold?
I got to one go
And 10 gold makes you mayor.
I
So-
no, I did not have a citizenship coin.
at the Swallow.
So to answer your question, Ecclesias, it's not a crime to not have one. It is just more of something that they might not let you into certain areas if you don't have the proper coin.
Well, I think that I can find a way around that, even if I don't have the physical coin.
Would I
Yeah.
have? Oh, sorry.
Go.
Would I have dealt with this whole coin thing, traveling all the way from
Yeah, I'm sure you ran into it more than once.
no troubles otherwise?
Not
Just-
particularly.
Alrighty.
You guys would know that, you know, depending on where you're from, and if someone asks, like if you're from Solaria and you have a Solarian coin, you might have a potential to be treated better than others that don't. Or get cheaper prices, things like that. If you're from Uthran, they might try to get more money out of you.
Well,
Things like that.
I'd explain exactly that then.
I say that.
I say that word for word.
Well, then it seems like those guys made a big fuss over nothing.
Yeah, I feel like just the fact that the recent change in control over this town is the main deal here.
They seemed pretty pushy, didn't they?
Yeah, they
Sorry.
did.
People get very pushy over lines and names.
That's just true.
I've never been treated as such by a Cornelio previously.
People get pushy over power.
That is true.
Zio, do you have your family crest anywhere on you visibly?
No, not on me visibly, just on my signet ring.
Okay.
Tattooed on my face.
I am the Voon.
He said out loud that his name doesn't have power here, right? Or is that
His
specifically
exact
just
words
whispered?
is, with all due respect, you don't have any authority here.
Alrighty.
So, as you all head into town, as you get probably about 100 feet outside the gate wall, you do notice that there's guards similarly dressed, adorned, and armored to the ones that you met on the road. And as you get about 100 feet, there's some resistance as you walk through, almost like walking through like a heavy wind for a second. And as you walk through this sensation, the climate instantly changes. It is not cold and the air is not very bitter, but it is very warm and inviting inside here. It is almost tropical as you start to hear more of the water rushing by, as well as the regular sounds of a port town.
I have a question, ZM.
Mhm.
So we're beyond we're in the city now.
You're 100 feet outside the wall, but yeah,
So we're not into the city yet.
technically no.
So What does it look like? Is it like a tall wooden fence, stone?
The
Is it
outside
like a
wall
big
is
gate or?
a large stone wall. You see that the farther into the city, because you kind of see into the main gate, the farther they get, the nicer the buildings get as they get closer to the actual port. But nothing too. It's not a very opulent, even though it's not a very opulent city, and it is multiples and multiple times smaller than Celeria. So
As we're walking and the air is getting noticeably warmer, I'll kind of take off my heavier clothing, put it in my bag, and kind of start just looking around. I'm actually gonna do an Arcana check to see if there's just something weird with that drastic of a
you
change.
definitely know something's weird with that drastic of a change.
Yeah.
Arcana check, you can discern why.
While she's rolling the Arcana check, I'm also taking off my quilted cloak and just now this is what I'm used to, and I can scratch behind my ear.
It is hot and very uncomfortable here.
Let me guess, are you from the north? As I just.
Well, now that you mention it, yes, I am.
We need.
I thought I had said that
for
before.
his mouth.
June.
21.
21. You would have learned from your mentor that there was an ancient, very ancient magic that could affect large landscapes in various ways, and one of them is a climate change. So you can assume that this would be very similar, and that the climate around this town has been altered.
Would I know if it was more of a old spell passed down, or from some sort of object,
It would definitely be
or
a spell.
relic, a spell? Okay.
Yeah.
On the flip side of that, the druids are of the old faith, of the old type magic, old faith, whatever, however you want to phrase it, and the Firbolg clans are typically druidic. They have that connection. Would I recognize it then? Would that ring a bell to me, considering?
Sorry, June, do you mention anything that I just told you?
Yeah.
To the group.
So as we're walking, and I'm kind of putting my stuff away, and you kind of see me like my finger, I'm testing the wind, and I just kind of
south.
Yep. It's approximately 71 degrees.
The wind is very windy.
But as we're walking, and I'll say, there is some very old and very powerful magic surrounding this area. I don't know anyone that could cast something like this. And I'll kind of turn to Zio. Do you know of, and then I turn to Jeet, and I go, you said that the Mage College was here, correct?
Yes.
Do you know if they have some sort of council, or
I'm sure they have some sort of higher ups, but I'm not too sure. I've not been there.
Wait, has the climate always been altered here?
Before we get too far off the point, Alar, when she mentions this, you would know that the druids and any sort of nature-based magic would probably not favor altering the nature to their own will. So you assume, just knowing what you know, that this is definitely not nature magic, not casted by somebody who respects nature.
I got you.
I'm into nature magic.
What'd you ask her then?
I like
Sorry?
leaves. I just kind of addressing Tajit. I'd say, has the weather always been altered here? Is it Cornelius doing this, or is it always just nerds like their warmth?
I'm not too sure. I assume when I get to the college, I could ask. Those of you that have been here before, you probably wouldn't have noticed it because it would have been summertime when you came through.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
But true. Just kind of talking to Jeet, if there are spellcasters here that are capable of things like this, I would love to at least, check out the college when you go there.
Oh, of course, but I mean, you all got me here, so I feel kind of obligated to help you. We really should probably take up what the adventurers said, or not the adventurers, the blockade, and speak to the mayor. They said, remember they said that he'd be really interested to speak with us.
Yeah, I didn't mean now. I meant when we can.
Oh, of course.
Before we leave.
I am quite interested to talk to the Mage College. I feel like they would be more resistant to change than less established institutions.
Is this the most popular college or wizard school in this area?
It's the only one I know of.
It's the most popular in this city where we're at right now.
No shit, Ayla.
This school is the most popular school at this school.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he said.
This school is cool.
Well, yeah, I agree. If we should probably talk to them at some point.
Do we have the rights to some Beach Boys songs?
Tajid asks all of you. So where do we go from here?
Well, let's go to the mayor
The
first.
lights down now.
Yeah, we should probably get into the
Feeling
city and feel it out first. See what problems I kind of feel are ahead of us. Because Zio, they said that your name doesn't have power here. What does that mean?
Well, I assume that it does seem that the city is now in the control of Uthran. My name tends to hold some weight in Uthran, so I thought that maybe throwing that around would give us a little bit of extra privilege, and maybe we could have passed those guards a little bit easier than we were actually able to. But my name, it doesn't hold weight everywhere in Uthran, so...
Well... Oh, sorry.
It is quite alright. Is your family okay? I know that you've gotten a letter. Is everyone good there? I know, I'm just concerned now.
Yeah, my family seems to be doing alright, and like I said earlier, I think that going to go see my family could provide us with some better, certainly not unbiased, but at least honest descriptions of what is actually going on from the Uthranian side of things.
Is your family undyingly loyal to Uthran? Or are they...
Wrong character.
Fuck off. Or are they just kind of there because they were born there? If that made sense at all.
That's where the business was set up. And therefore, our name has been spread, far and wide because of how far the wine goes, but
oh, for sure.
Our name means something here in Uthran, whereas in other places it is just a fine wine.
Oh, for sure.
Well, it sounds like from the guards that your name is better said in Celeria than here in Frayes.
That's where I was getting at.
Maybe we shouldn't say it often.
I think that is not a bad idea at all, but I think that what they were getting at is my name is better said in the city of Uthran rather than out here in a new territory controlled by another family.
Therefore,
Maybe this...
Sorry.
And the other family might feel threatened by your presence.
That could very well be a thing.
Are the Cornelius dicks? It sounds like they are.
Most people that take over a city are dicks.
don't think it can't solely be the Cornelius is taking the city, though. It has to be the Empire, because
I'm not 100% sure of that. The way that things are run in Uthran, it's the wealthy families, the nobles, if you will. They hold a lot of power. And
Oh,
something
what's
like
the game?
land.
Sorry.
A port.
Yeah, there's a lot to gain here. The Mage College, you know, powerful magic, land, money from, you know, trade
Were
here.
they,
Nice
were they
weather,
allies?
apparently.
I'm sorry, Raiden?
Were they allies before this?
Well, Uthran
Or
and
just-
Solaria were.
But not Frayes. Frayes is their...
Frayes used to be part of Solaria.
Huh. Interesting.
Therefore the Cornelio family, whether they did this with the knowledge of the rest of the, you know, Council of Uthran or not, it seems like they're not claiming it necessarily as Uthran itself. They have specifically claimed it with their name on it. And I think that's where Zio was mentioning that because it seems that this family is kind of directly correlated with the takeover of this city, that Zio's family doesn't have the power that he might have if he was back in Uthran.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay.
Are the
My brain
colors
was skipping there.
are the colors of Uthran blue, or is that the colors of the? That was the colors of the family. Is that right? So the
Yeah,
banners
it
and
had-
everything
it
was
had
specifically the family.
Yeah, it had the Cornelio house crest
Okay.
on it.
So it wasn't. And would I recall if there was a banner for the unified councils,
Uthran?
or for
Uthran does have one, and this is very different in color and very different in style.
Yeah.
So you can tell that it is not claimed as this is Uthran.
It
So-
is not claimed as Uthran because the banners are Cornelius banners.
I keep hearing
Cornelio.
the three. Yes, thank you, June.
That one.
I'm talking. See, I told you, some of them had that wrong. I just gotta get like a feather duster and just like
Yeah,
hold
there
it
you
up.
go.
if I'm not
You
mistaken,
honestly
though,
should.
if I'm not mistaken, didn't when we entered the territory they say "Welcome to Uthran" though?
Well,
That's
maybe
the-
perhaps the Cornelio family is of Uthran, and
I
therefore
believe they
they're
would
saying it's
change the
not.
name.
That's
Yeah.
fair, but yeah, that's fair.
I think mostly it's.
I guess they don't
it's
want two
them-
enemies.
It's mostly them stating that it's no longer part of Solaria, which means that they have taken over. Are we like coming up to the gate? Are we walking?
You guys are
through
pretty
the-
much at the gate. You guys stopped. You're like, so.
Yeah.
So,
Girl.
let me tell
Wow,
you.
those are big
Uh,
ones.
So, you said that we can kind of see from the gate that as you go farther into the city, like the class system gets
More
high,
that the
like,
buildings become
the buildings.
more well built. You know, not
Okay.
as much wood.
Is there like a center point or
Can't tell
a?
from outside the city. Town.
Okay.
Let's go inside the city.
Yeah, just be careful. We don't know who's here.
So, as you all head into the town, those of you that have been here before, you do point out that it does seem less densely populated.
It does
is-
seem less densely populated.
I'm ready for this whole monologue to get repeated.
I'm ready for this whole.
As you walk in, almost every guard that you pass does keep a pretty, stern eye on you, and they don't avert their gaze as you walk past. As you kind of head in, trying to find some sort of direction or center point, it does sound like the port itself is still operational. Did you guys want to try to head directly to the center of the city, or
I would say that if
town?
yeah, that would probably be the direction that I would head in order to try to find, where the mayor's at. But along the way, I also I just want to like look for, even though I know it's less densely populated, the people that are there, like what is their demeanor?
Make a perception check.
Do they look like they got overthrown?
Do they
Is
look
there
well, do they look afraid? Do they like,
Yeah.
Is there like a mixed, like a racial like diversity here too?
Yeah. You see a large collection of your normal classes, like your elves and your humans and dwarves.
Those are races.
Shut up.
I'm sorry. I'm really.
I just didn't want to see like
Alar dies later tonight. Stay tuned.
I didn't want to see like a city of like Zeos, just or something,
What, a bunch of old people?
Is it?
You don't want
Yeah.
to see that?
Oh my god.
Amazing idea.
Is it also?
Wait till we
like,
get to Uthran.
do I notice any like half orcs or some form of variant of
You look
that?
to the right and you see one with a bow.
Yeah.
Is it the
You see one in your
stereotypical
party.
forger?
Before I answer that, June, what was your roll?
8.
8. They look like they're keeping to themselves.
Okay.
As you guys get closer to the docks, you start seeing actually a denser population of hardier races, like dwarves. You see a couple rock gnomes, and half-orcs.
Are people?
I'm probably tripping over
and
the
big
rock.
humans and big elves.
Just a bunch of big people.
Everyone
do
here
I-
does seem working class.
Do I notice any of the? I'm looking out like as we're walking. I'm looking out for like that green. Those cloaks we saw on those assassins or
The bureau cloaks?
bureau cloaks. Yeah.
Make a perception check.
Oh shit.
Do better than me.
Do I see anyone who is also 7'9" and their head is also like in the weather? Like,
Goes to the swamp.
No,
It's a 9. Not
9?
good.
Looking around, it's pretty blue around here.
Is Alar sweaty?
Also my favorite color. Oh yeah, I take off my coat from my warm weather coat.
Yeah.
I just ripped my sleeves off of mine.
You have a ring.
I don't need sleeves. I still have my fingers.
Oh my god.
Erden, I have not noticed how big your biceps are. That is
Hey
impressive.
now.
What you
As,
telling me?
as you all get to actually the dock, the way you were taking wasn't actually taking you to the center of a town, but you notice that dissecting the city is a very large river. You see a bridge that leads to the other side of the town. The bridge probably about 300 or 400 feet long. Goes very high. As well as you see a very distinct difference in building, where on the other side you see a lot more wooded buildings, a little bit more tattered. You see it just looks dingy from where you're standing, contrary to where you are now.
Are we still in like the docks district or like where you crossing right now?
You guys aren't crossing. This is just what you see as it kind of opens
Okay.
up, and you see a fairly bustling port.
I'm gonna.
so-
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna clarify that you said it was a really big river. The bridge is 300 foot tall or 300 foot wide or long? Okay, is that
Almost.
still
Almost.
a really big river? to
Holy
know the
shit,
city?
that's a big bridge.
Sorry, I wanted to clarify.
What the fuck?
Oh.
How close are we to like the people that are kind of like doing their jobs around the dock?
At this
And
point, they're fairly all around.
are there any guards around?
Many. And they all seem to be, except for the ones that are in the actual port watching people work. The ones that are more in the, we'll say the residential area that you guys are technically in, they're all watching you.
Just rolling the probabilities on this here. Are any of the guards my height? Look like I could fit in their clothing? Just asking.
Perception.
Oh my god.
Asking for a
I
friend.
was going to say that
Sorry, go ahead.
I just want Ecclesias, if there's ever a guard looking at everybody, like Letterkenny, he's just gonna be like, and just like stare at one and just like eye him up and down and try to get as much detail as I possibly can. And not like not aggressively, just just very like shoulders forward, just staring at this person because I want to get a good image for this guy's stuff.
Wait, that's That's the normal way of
7?
doing
Man,
it.
you
That's-
guys are not doing great on rolls today.
No.
Today's a
I'm
bad
gonna
day.
switch dice. It's gonna be fine.
Everyone
Everything's
looks
gonna get
pretty
better.
medium
Yeah.
humanoid to you.
Okay.
Can
I
I,
also just remembered I
You
had
see-
disguise self.
You see one guy where his foot seems a little larger. It might be able to fit, not both feet, just one foot. You might be able to get a boot, but you're unsure. You'll have to kill him to try to take it. Before I get to you, Cthulhu, Ecclesius,
Sorry.
as you're looking at one of these guards and just, so smug looking at what he looks like, you take down specific traits. As you look at them, getting the racial features, probably wouldn't matter too much because there are different, races, skin colors, and, varying heights. But you do notice that their armor is half-plate armor with a similarly attuned undergarment that is that light blue. And some of them, you can see that there's a difference. Some of them have helmets that have a blue frill coming off the back, and then some of them you can see that are kind of watching the dock area, that are like on higher pedestals, have the similar hat to the gentleman at the blockade.
If anybody's looking at me, I like Ecclesius actually has a notebook out and he's like,
Okay.
I would like to. I'm gonna turn and act like I'm kind of talking to Uridin, but I'm gonna kind of side eye one of the workers that's about 50 feet away, and telepathically, while giving them the ability to respond, I'm going to ask them, "Where is the mayor's house?"
He, he's a gnome and he's hunched over and he's holding a box and he kind of sets it down and then looks around and he's like, and not knowing where, he just kind of points.
I'm standing next to June, and I'm like, "Why are you looking at me like that?"
Don't worry about it. And then I'll turn and kind of look to where he's pointing.
He's kind of
tell.
pointing if you follow the river up some ways. And
Okay.
as you look, there is what seems to be a larger wooden house.
Then I'll turn to Uridin. Don't worry about it. We need to go this way.
1 second. And I'm gonna
Okay.
I'm gonna go talk to a guard. I'm gonna go approach one.
Okay.
Hello there.
Hello.
Is there Captain Flynn here by chance? I was told he would be here
I do not know
any
that
day
name.
now. Do you know where the Dockmaster is, so I could talk to him?
You could try the docks. There's a large building. You could try there.
You're so helpful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Fucking bitch.
Make a stealth check.
Oh,
Fuck!
meanwhile,
I was
Ecclesius is
like-
just looking for a fish market.
Cthulhu is
Okay,
doing
wait, is it as a
so great,
disadvantage?
and then
I pictured you
Okay, a
looking one way and your
17
tail
a
looking the other.
15, so 16?
Okay.
like the submarine thing.
Yep.
I walk away.
It's called a colitis.
Where was the? Do I see a bigger building than
Yes,
maybe
there's a
dock?
gigantic warehouse next to the dock.
Like, would I assume it's the Dockmaster?
That's the one he pointed
Okay.
at.
Can we talk to him real quick? I want to see if we have an old friend here.
Is
I'm
that?
going with you.
Captain Flynn, do you most of you may remember him?
I remember the Bang Bang.
Bang bang, demon stick
Yeah,
over
he
there.
gave me
has
this
something.
pull out.
Yeah.
Stop! Nope, that's
Don't.
not. No, no.
There's
Let's go.
lots of inside jokes and references I don't get.
I don't
We're currently
also
keeping
understand-
those inside of our pockets. Those
Let's
jokes
put
are
Right
you
never
here
inside of our
is
pockets.
a boomstick.
Okay.
You
Do you
have
pull
a
out
giant
the
sword on
flintlock?
your back.
Oh yeah, I'm showing it to Ecclesius. Like it's in my hand. I'm showing it.
I
to
don't understand. It's just another sword. It's just like another sword.
We're gonna get reported. We're
Ecclesius, you
going to
watch him
jail.
pull out, for Jeremy, a flintlock pistol.
This is
We're going to jail.
It's loud.
Can I see it?
We're trying not to draw attention to ourselves.
Is this dangerous? I look down the barrel.
Yes. On the bright side, I don't think anyone is gonna have any idea of what it is, but still.
Do I
Just-
notice people looking at this flintlock pistol?
Yes, you guys all noticed,
There's
at
all
least 10
staring
guards
at us.
staring at you.
Fucking son of a
I'm gonna turn to Cthulhu and everybody. I thought that the most important thing right now was getting to the mayor's house and talking to him. I think that maybe we can check for Captain Flynn later if you guys are okay with that. But
I just want a quick out, that's all. But
I'm quick what?
a quick out.
Have
in
you been
case
on a
shit-
ship that is undocking from a pier? It's the last thing. It's not a quick thing.
We
But
can make
the-
it hasty.
Definitely got a point. I hope there's
Tail,
wind
or is that the
today.
gun?
But yeah, let's look talk to the mayor and we can check the dockmaster.
Alright.
I'm putting away the flintlock pistol now.
Is that a fucking secret gun?
Alar, I'm like breathing deeply right now, just like.
Last time I wanted it to go off, it didn't go off. All right.
So are all of you heading over
Which
to
means
the
when you
dockmaster?
want it, or when you don't want it to, it probably will.
So does that mean
Theo,
you're all
be
gonna head over
careful
to the
with-
dockmaster now, or?
All
Yes,
heavy
mayor.
humorous
I got
middle
yeah.
school humor.
Yeah,
We're
mayor.
going to the
Oh, we go to the
Mayor.
mayor. Sorry.
Wait, are we going to the mayor or the dock?
We are going to the mayor.
I
Mayor.
thought mayor was.
Okay, that's what I thought, but then Cthulhu, who's not there, said that we should go to the dockmaster
We
first.
go to the mayor.
We're going to the mayor.
So
okay.
almost
John
immediately, kind of like Dwight in the office getting scared by Angela. Fuck! As you all turn around to walk, you see a short halfling man, very posh dressed with a hat with a large feather coming out of it, surrounded by at each corner of him 4 guards as he looks at all of you. Hello, and welcome to Frayes.
Oh, jeez,
I just wanna
you
kinda
gotta
walk
be
right by him.
careful where you're walking. Sorry.
Do you?
He's surrounded by guards, right?
Yes.
No, not like I didn't mean like push through him. I just wanted to like I didn't even
Like,
Okay.
ignore him.
just like I almost ignore him.
All right.
Like I have a one-track mind.
I will stop and say hello, and then I will try to just casually keep going.
What brings you to the lovely city of Frayes?
Business.
Oh,
I'm gonna look at the 4 guards. Like, which one of you 4?
It's the bottom.
down
Sorry.
here. Down here.
Done.
I'm
Down.
I'm just here to.
hello.
Yes, hello.
Sorry.
I'm just here to cordially invite you to meet the mayor. He would like to speak with you all.
Push it. What?
This sounds convenient.
Well, why? Thank you.
Shall you
Did the
accept
mayor
his
ask?
Invitation?
Yes.
yes,
we
we do.
will accept his invitation.
Cordially.
Splendid. Follow me. And turns and Ecclesias,
So-
are you still walking?
I had like gone to say something and then realized that the
Ecclesias, we're over this way.
I probably would have been like 5 feet past a little four
Okay.
groups of guard or the guard the guard.
Did the gourds? Did
Uh,
they
Go ahead.
did they seem to like pick us out like out of the crowd, like, or was he just like going from like group to group, like, nah, you met the mayor, you haven't met the mayor, you want to go meet
None of you really
Sorry.
noticed this gentleman, especially since he would be hard to pick out surrounded by 4 guards. But you could tell that this is very direct to you guys.
Okay.
As you're all walking, he goes, "So, have any of you been here before?" And he's like just jauntily walking.
You're muted, Jess.
Yes, it is, very nice here now, though.
Of course, this time of year is very prosperous for our town.
Does he?
Why is that?
Which one am I answering first?
I
Gee,
just want
I-
to know
yeah.
if he has any visible tattoos.
Make a perception check.
Why, I suppose it'd have something to do with the ports, but why is it prosperous this time of year?
Well, of course, because it's warm here where it's cold everywhere else.
Oh, that is fair. Why is
Yeah.
it warm here?
He walks by someone, "Good day. Hello."
I hate
Well,
this guy.
a very ancient type of magic, one before our ancestors' ancestors were here.
Oh,
Has it always been like this?
fascinating.
As long as I've been here.
What, like
And-
3 days?
How long? Have
About
you been
30 years.
Okay, all right.
He walks by, there's like a tankard in the street, and he kind of picks it up and he hands it to one of the gods. Filthy.
That's like 20 years less time than Z, who's been alive. You're 50.
Jude, what was your roll?
16.
16. You do not notice any visible tattoo.
I may be 50, but I have only been alive for 20 years, technically.
He kind of turns. That math is difficult.
Proper. Yes.
It's a cultural question. It's sensitive.
Yes.
What's does last time I was here I wasn't able to inquire about this. What often is traded here?
Anything we can trade. Mostly we are a major docking point. We are very popular between Solaria trading with Uthran.
What what is there about this city that if there was someone new to this city, what is like fun things to do here or interesting facts? As if you were a tourist guide, not assuming that you were, but
Well,
or
I
if that
am
even
not.
exists.
But I can tell you it's a wonderful town. Explore it a lot. And I'm not a tourist. I'm sorry.
Tourist guide.
Ayla, we are on
Ayla,
business.
shut.
We need to go.
Thank you.
We're walking with him.
Yeah, he's
We're-
Is he going in this? Actually, I'll ask this to June. June. I'll cast message. I'll say June out loud, but I'll cast message.
Jude!
June.
June. Is this guy going the right way that you know what the matter is? Is this the right way?
Oh, wait. Yeah. Yeah. This is the same way that the person that I asked pointed.
Okay.
And then do I see like that kind of like larger house that I noticed when I looked?
Yep. And you see your hand towards it.
Yeah. And I'll kind of like nod over towards that house.
I need everybody to make a perception check.
Sweet.
Oh, 1. Dude, fuck me. 2
You-
minus 1.
You really like this guy.
And the boy's witty.
12.
Perception.
12.
3.
3, okay.
21.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
Aylar for the win.
Yeah.
18.
18, okay.
Aylar and Erden for the win.
And then there's
I got a
the dude.
15.
15, okay.
My head stuck.
Zio,
for the
or sorry,
win.
Ecclesias and Alar, you notice off to your right in one of the alleyways, you notice a gentleman in a similarly green adorned cloak as he is fiddling with something in his hand, and he takes note of you all, and he doesn't scurry away the second he meets eyes with both of you, but he kind of meets eyes with both of you and slowly turns and walks into the alleyway and fades
How
into
much can I
No, no,
memorize
no,
his
no, no,
appearance?
no.
Like duplicate it.
black. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't know
Save
if it's like.
You're about to break your brain trying to do
I was
brain
about to
stuff.
say.
No, I'm not.
You
Right,
look
I'm
like
gonna
nine
clarify. I'm gonna clarify. I don't mean to do it now, but later, I want to remember how this guy looks like. Just.
Because
So
that's
you're
gonna help
telling
your
me in the
case.
future you're gonna try to remember something. Great. I
Right?
will.
No, I like. Well, I
There's
didn't
no
ask
roll
for a
needed
roll.
now. There's
I didn't
no
ask
roll-
for a roll.
There's no roll needed now, but I will take
Okay.
note that you want to remember something in the future.
Yeah. So, well, like, what did he look like?
He had dark leathered armor, very similar to what the people you
Okay.
murdered in Meadow Springs.
people you
Did he have a
similarly
face?
green. He did have a face. I'm starting at the
human?
bottom up. Give me a second. He has a similarly green adorned cloak. Very thin brown hair that was shrouding probably about a quarter of his face. And a beard similar to mine, but thicker.
Okay. And human, or can I not tell?
It was too quick.
Okay.
You know, I mean, he was either human, elf, half elf, something along those lines.
So I guess a better question would be: did I get a good enough look to later duplicate his appearance?
I guess you'll find out later.
Fair enough.
June. That cloud looks like a cow.
So was it just Aylar that saw this?
No,
this,
you saw this
You,
too.
us, both of us.
That one.
Did you have
Does
any
it
other
actually
questions to
look like a
clarify?
cow?
Nope. And I didn't really clarify anything.
I wonder if they have cows here.
So, yes.
Everywhere has cows.
Ecclesius?
You said one of the first things besides the green is that we saw something fiddling in his hand. Did it look like it required two hands? This is gonna just get all the innuendos out of the way. Did it look like it required two hands to fiddle? Did it look like it was like
It was
he was
small.
trying to
Like as if he was fiddling with a coin, or something. A bauble. It was a small bauble of some sort.
Yeah, it was.
He needs to go to the swallow.
Did he store it in his pants?
Whoever gets no
Did he have-
innuendos gets more XP.
Whoever just no innuendos?
Gets more XP.
Oh well, I would just skip right to the. Did he have a penis? That's not an innuendo.
Oh, look, the Goliath is right there.
The way that you whispered that, though.
I don't want the internet to hear.
All right.
Are
so
we
as
trying to
you
say that
walk-
progressively louder?
as
Well,
you
I
walk-
imagine that
Alright.
Alar
we're
and
starting this
Ridin
game?
and Ecclesias all notice each other, notice it.
Burden
and
didn't see
then-
anything. You and Alar definitely take note, and
Oh.
you both kind of look at each other like, "Did you?"
Yeah.
Just...
Alright, it's a
we
cloud. It
should.
looks like a cow.
Catherine, there's going to be clouds literally fucking everywhere. Just focus on the road. And then I'll get it. Hey, we'll discuss this with the group later.
I swear my mom had me tested.
The clouds?
No.
Just like
Jackie,
he like looks
too.
around at everybody. What is my life? But to Alar, yeah, we'll discuss this with the group later and keep it quiet. Maybe.
I just kind of nod. And I ask, first of all, I'm sorry, we did not ask of your name. What is your, name?
My name is Charlie.
Charlie, pleasure to meet you.
And
I'm-
what is your name?
I'm Alar.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Do you know of the Mage College here?
Oh, well, if you look, and he stops at a break in some of the buildings so you can see across the river. If you look across the river, you can see, it's kind of hard to see, that small building with the small spire there. That would be the college there.
I see.
And then he
Okay.
keeps walking.
I thought it was a big college.
Yeah, me too.
It seems far away, so, distance.
Large would not be a word I would describe it.
Oh,
What word
so
would
is
Then
it
not
describe
distance.
okay. Well,
Is it the
Tajid?
best college for my little boy here? And I kind of
That's
pat
it.
on Tajit.
It all happened when you guys were at the beach and you were doing priest stuff, and we left you alone together.
Tajit, you better fucking
Typical
play with
priest
this.
archetypes,
So, as you're
It's all our
walking
fault,
up
guys.
to this building, he goes, "And welcome to the town hall. This is where the
thank you.
mayor resides, as well as all political and anything pertaining to the town is decided."
Hmm.
As he starts
Can
up
I-
the stairs.
It's,
To-
nice.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Was there something you
I
wanted
can
to ask?
follow.
I'll put my jacket back on first, though. It's my only formal sort of thing. Well, I was gonna ask Charlie something, but he's already skirted off.
I mean, he's small. His skirting is like your leisure.
It's like 2
Does
steps.
he have to like hop up steps, or? can he,
It's like a.
Is that what you're gonna ask him?
A waddle.
I'm gonna ask him
He
something I
waddles
can't
over
perceive
steps.
as Jeremy, but Ecclesias would be able to perceive. So it's like a weird 16th wall break.
Mm.
But to Charlie, what is your? You have a very informal name. What is your ranking, or are you just a? What's the word? A concierge?
As he's kind of out of breath after 3 stairs. Well, I'm advisor to the mayor.
I really want to sprint up these stairs real quick, as fast as I can with my feline agility. I really love stairs. You should all know that about me right now. I really love stairs.
What are his guards doing
Walking.
with him?
Yes.
Well, no,
Are
I-
they annoyed
Well-
that they have to appropriate their pace to
Yes.
this guy?
You can
Yeah,
see
they're
some of them
annoyed.
because people in the back don't really care, but people in the front, it's like step. Stop.
Do like the do two guards pick him up by his
Stop.
hands like parents and then carry him
No.
up the steps?
From the,
on,
short,
Charlie.
from the short time that you've been with Charlie, you get the sense that he's too proud.
I want to ask Charlie. All right, sorry, we're obviously new to town, and I just want to be polite when we meet them. What does the mayor prefer to be called?
You can call him your lord. If he presents himself as informal to you, then you can address him by whatever that he allows. But I would start off with your lord. So, hello, my lord.
Just
Don't say mate, got it.
As you guys get to the top of the stairs after 48 minutes, not actually.
it's noon by this point.
It's always new to my game. You get to the top courtyard, and it is all cobble, and then lined with trees. And in the center there is a stone fountain. Even though it's only up elevation, is probably about 100 feet, it is noticeably more calm and a little bit more serene up here than down there. The building itself is what would be a T-shaped home, but the actual bottom part is very short, so it's very long in the back, and then it has a forward jut out for the entrance.
Like a T if you were like looking bird's eye down.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a Teen Titans tower.
Yeah, that's
what I was
honestly what I was
thinking.
picturing. I was like, how did they do that?
There's that word.
I heard
Their architecture's
AT,
amazing here.
and I was expecting another AT after that. I was like, wait,
It's an AT&T tower.
No, it's an AT-AT.
It's an at
Brings us to
tower.
our first sponsor.
This episode of the Arcane Archives is brought to you by 5G.
So,
We're sponsored by the internet.
as you all get up to the front door, yes, Ayla?
Two things. One, I'm Charlie, is this like an exclusive meeting? Like, how is our normal citizens able to visit here?
They are able to come and place grievances, but not actually directly interact with the mayor.
Okay, thank you. And then I turn to Uridin and I say, Uridin, can you please fancy me?
How
Clean,
you
you
doing?
go ahead.
How you doing, baby?
I just realized what that actually. No, I mean,
Fancy.
you know, I smell nice. Look, not me.
Oh,
How did you,
I
can
get
you
it
make
now.
me look not me?
No, clean,
And then
clean
I'll-
me up with your fancy
Okay.
thing.
I'll point at him and give him the old spritz wash.
You're all about the finger guns today, Eddie.
Are you ever
Friday.
not? Why are you ever not about the finger guns? It's fucking finger guns.
So as
Fucking
you approach
finger
the
gun.
door, you're still actually by the fountain, probably about 60 feet off from the door itself. And Charlie turns. He's like, "Well, make yourself comfortable here, and when the mayor is ready for your attendance, I will come and fetch all of you."
Thank you. Do you know how long that will be?
Should it be long now? I think he is just finishing up with some current guests.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Charlie.
You are very welcome.
Quick question, as
Yes.
the mayor's assistant, do you run the ports, or do you have any say in what the ports are?
The ports are typically run by the dock master, like all ports are.
Well, thank you for answering for me.
Now kill him.
Him. The thing. Do it.
Do it.
The thing.
He does say
thank
the
you,
first
Ayla.
part of "thank you for answering for me," and he turns and goes to the hall. As you are all left in this
Sometimes.
serene cut of the town.
I don't know what your obsession with the docks are right now. We're gonna get there, man.
It's called time efficiency, Eridan. Time efficiency.
Time
Get other-
efficiency.
Get other
How-
people to do our
Again,
work.
with the C, I don't get it.
How like are there guards watching us now that we're standing here? Or
No, there's actually unexpected lack of protection where you guys are standing.
okay. I turn to Tajit and I say, do you think it is maybe you could go to the college now and then tell us later what it is like, unless if you want to meet the mayor?
What would you all like? I could still be. I mean, if you, I could do the the trick I have. If you want to find something out before we go in.
No way. If you all of a sudden he just finds an eyeball. This is a very
It
fancy
can be an
trick.
ear. I can listen too.
If he finds any part of a small child laying around as we show up, it's going to be very bad.
I'm 22.
Wait.
I'm not a child.
Do you have to pick it up physically, or can it like come back to you on its own?
I just
Can it
end the effect and it will come back.
How far can
That
you
is-
send it?
About 100 feet.
Do you have to be able to see where you're sending it?
I need
Let's
to be
send
able
it.
to imagine it.
Said that.
All
Do it.
I'll just
Do it.
I'll put it at the ceiling in the front foyer.
But would it be the point if you are listening onto our conversation?
Well, before we go in, I think it would be more beneficial if you if you use
You
your
should have threw it
eye.
at Charlie's head.
I mean, that's a good point, June. Yeah,
Just-
sure.
Would
Yeah,
you like
which
me
is what
to get a
Tajit
visual
said
bird's eye
first.
view or an auditory one?
I say visual.
I
That's what
just-
I'll do.
Don't know what
Auditory,
this meeting will entail, and so I want you to, I don't know, give you an opportunity to leave.
No, I'll stay through until the end. But
I don't have much faith in this mayor, but we will see.
shroud me if that makes any sense. And he kind of gets near the fountain to kind of cover himself a little bit. But kind
Open
of
the
like
bag of holding and I dive
yeah,
at him.
someone trying to change at the beach and everybody needs to stand around with towels. It's like,
Yep.
Shroud me, please. And
Yeah.
I'll go
he
and
covers his
shroud him.
eye, his other eye open, looking blankly into the future.
You're all dead. They did work.
A couple minutes pass, and he comes back. He's like, "Well, it is very dimly lit in there,
Sick.
from my point of view. But I did see the mayor was at the head of a table, and the man Charlie that we just spoke with, he was in there, speaking. Well, at least in attendance. And then there was." It was hard to tell, but there was also a figure sitting at the other head of the table. There was a pillar in my way, so I couldn't quite make them out, but he was eating like a madman.
Did he have a glaive?
I could not see. I saw his hands, and he was eating like an entire leg of a turkey.
What
That-
color were his hands?
Very pale.
Gravy steak.
grayish pale.
What does that
It's hard to tell.
mean?
Something
Yeah,
that
don't-
is gray.
They
and a
look
little
like
pale.
human hands.
Unless they have more or less than this amount of digits, they all look like human hands.
How big were they? Was he a big man or
It-
normal size?
It was hard. I mean, he could. Like, for me, I can't eat an old turkey. Like, that's enormous. He could.
Yeah, that
This is Alar. This is speculation right here. What is happening? And we are speculating that is the Goliath.
Okay, I was going to say, I was really wondering why you were all hung up on this dude's hands.
Oh, we have a
gotta think
fetish for
ahead.
hands, Ecclesiastes. That's what.
If
the
you
good
have a
fetish.
fascination with hands, that's okay. And if love is love, but I just need to be on board.
Yes, we have a fetish for hands, because what else do you use? You need to grip your lover. Yeah.
You do.
Oh, I don't want to hear this.
is that what you named it?
Gripping your lover.
This whole fucking.
I named
this
it
whole
my
fucking
lover.
session.
That's
Come here,
Zeno,
my
that's
lover.
not what I named it.
He named it his greatsword.
No,
But then
no,
we-
someone else named it my lover.
I like how Cade's talking to you, but then Alar's responding.
Tajit does speak up and
No.
he says, Should we
But-
use the thing that you got from that man to inform him of what's happening?
Maybe not yet.
I think we only
I
have
think
two
we
Well-
should
years.
wait till after this conversation.
But what if we don't make it out of this conversation?
Oh no, let's
That
not do
is
this
dark.
again.
Hold on, man.
I-
Aren't I usually the one that is like, trigger happy? Well, bow happy?
I didn't say we were going to start anything. I'm thinking of last time we didn't even stand a chance. And if like you said, we're speculating, but at the same time, if our speculations are right and we're walking right in there, are we
I
going to
don't-
have another chance to
I do want to know what about this is really rubbing everyone the wrong way.
That's what I'm wondering too. Why is everyone and also keep in mind that where we are, I don't think that these walls are soundproof.
Well,
Also, what
I'll kind
would
of like
we-
lower down my voice a little bit. One, Chester told us that the Goliath was spotted here. Two, we walk in here and the entire town is taken over by an Uthranian family. And three, we have a special invitation to meet the mayor.
Why don't I go in first? This Goliath does not know who I am.
Also, we were going here anyway. So, the invitation is irrelevant in my eyes.
Why
It's
were
just
we coming here
odd.
anyway?
We were coming to see the mayor on our own terms, and now the mayor
Yeah.
is asking for us. So therefore, he knows that we
Oh,
are
yeah,
here.
This is a different
Yeah, he's
mayor.
got a town full of his guards. Like, I don't think we need to be too on edge, because when we are on edge, we say wrong things. We need
I
to watch
agree.
ourselves.
Here's
I'm
what I
not-
think.
I'm
Either
not
way,
on edge. I'm just trying to be
Safe.
logical here.
whoever
What are the
it
facts?
is in there, we mustn't fight. We must hold our tongues and be patient because it'd be a very bad thing. That's what I make that hand signal while I say hold our tongues.
Ecclesias is not good at idiom.
Yeah. I thought that was my character trait. I thought.
I thought you just didn't straight up know how to speak common.
Anyways, you get what I mean. Let's
Colloquial metaphors are not my
Me-
forte.
be pragmatic.
DM,
I
did
agree.
we get a full rest before entering this town?
Mhm.
Okay. For some reason, I did not.
You leveled up.
forgot
so
I
you
s-
had to.
You
Forgot I
level,
slept.
level up too.
Yeah, I agree. We shouldn't go in there thinking we're gonna fight anybody. It's just precautionary. I understand where Jane's coming from.
I'm not.
I get it, but don't go in there assuming it is an ambush, because
I shall not.
that is when your actions may reflect something that is not actually going to happen. I say we go in there and we all be perceptive, we listen, and we answer honestly.
Where's
Also, be
Even-
formal.
If it is
Yes.
exactly who we seem to think it is, we do not incite. Because this is not going to be the place to do that, even if it is exactly who we've met before.
I
understand?
need to meditate.
I'm gonna join you. I do as well.
I don't know if we have time. We can set that for later. I think we're about to go in.
I'm just gonna like step off to the side, do some deep breathing.
As June does that, the rest of you notice Tajik
I
kind
was
of
about to- I'm
sits
going
on
out
the
there
edge
with
of the fountain, and he sits down and he pulls out of his satchel like a tuft of fur, and he starts whispering some sort of incantation, not audible enough for you to hear, and he starts moving his hands around it. Yep.
As me and I stepped off with June. June.
Hmm.
And I'm if worse comes to worse, obviously I'm right there with you on the thoughts, trust me. If worse comes to worse, I can hold him and you should take everyone out. I can stand my ground with him for a while.
I'm not looking for a fight, Cthulhu, and none
I'm
of us
not
should be.
either.
But
I'm
if
not
we
either.
are, my worry is that we're being led into a trap.
I am right there with you. That's why I'm saying, if worse comes to worse, find the way out with them, and don't worry about me. I have my god, and I will put up the fight and let you guys run. Because there's no way we can outrun that man if we all run.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Cthulhu. I'm not going to do that.
Speak for yourself. I can run pretty fast.
You're not even.
They're having an aside, Nick.
I'm not gonna just leave you there.
I understand.
But I
where you're coming
appreciate
from.
your courage. But
Don't.
if we need to run, Cthulhu, then we all run.
I will be the last one out to run if we do, and that's final.
You can try.
I will. And
Good
I kind of
luck.
like give her a smile and just walk away.
Who gets the last word?
All right. So, you guys, before Cthulhu came back, he stopped speaking into this tuft of fur, and the fur kind of withered away, and he looks around. He goes, so are we going in? As that happens, Charlie opens up the door and he's like, the mayor will see you all now.
Oh, perfect.
Very well. Let me just fix myself a bit, and then I'm gonna put my mask on and kind of.
I'm gonna like wipe off my shield, like kind of make it as nice as I can, throw it on my back.
As we kind of walk in, I'll kind of
Yeah.
I'll kind of go next to Uridin and kind of put a hand on his shoulder. Just breathe.
I'm
talking to me.
I smirk and give her a nod, and then I put my sleeves back on.
Ow!
Uridin, your biceps are very small now.
It's cold in here.
So as you all head in to this front entrance, you see a staircase that goes left and right, and then joins again at the top to get to a higher elevation. As he walks in, he goes, well, if you have any sort of questions before we go in, now would be the time to ask. Anything else?
Do we need to take our shoes off?
If you'd like to be cordial, I didn't catch your name?
Oh, sorry, I am Uridin.
Uridin, if you'd like to be casual and cordial for the house, then sure.
I mean, if it's preferred, I'll do it, but if not, I like to keep them on.
Okay. Anything else?
Meta question: if I took off my shoes, would my armor class go down?
No, but you wouldn't have shoes if you didn't retrieve them.
Never mind.
I have a question.
Yes.
For this meeting, is it just going to be the mayor? Will there be anybody else joining us?
It will just be the mayor and all of you. I will be attending as well.
Bam! Insight check. Is he lying to us?
Yeah, is he a little
Inside
bitch?
Does he seem like he's like plus the stenographer and the court-appointed lawyer and? Oh, that is assisting, and I was doing something else, so I was off of the page. You said insight, obviously, because I called for it. Dirty 20.
Dirty
The
20, nice.
bard.
He seems to be very professional and very well kept, and you get the sense that he is a man of his word.
I get the sense that you are a man of your word, Charlie.
Good. I hope you like the cut to my jib.
Cut of your jib.
I am still learning phrases of Falbian, but I assume that there is one about
Oh, he's
food.
circumcised.
I don't know what it.
I just like slow down at Cthulhu.
I do not know that word. What is that word?
And we
Am I the
go
only one that
and
think that's what that is? I am so lost.
As
we
they're all
go,
talking, Charlie already turned around and started walking up the stairs.
and I do that with him.
Yeah,
I follow hastily.
I mean, we can catch up to him if we wait 2 seconds.
So, as you all head to the top, you see a very long table. Opposite of the long table is a small raised platform with a desk and a chair. Sitting at one end of the long table, you see a man in a blue-colored long jacket that comes down to about his knees. He has what looks to be kind of hat hair and long black curly hair with a large mustache.
So hat hair on top and then like long curly hair down here.
Well, like his hair has, like he's been wearing a hat all day. And if you peer, you can see that there's a hat on the table, so you can kind of assume he's been wearing it. Behind each end of the table, there is a door that leads to other rooms that you would assume. As you all walk in, there was 2 meal prep set as he's... Hi, welcome everybody. You are all new here, and I welcome you to my home. I'm sorry if you are hungry. Do you wish sustenance? Do you need food?
Yes, please.
Oh,
First-
very well. And
It would not be a...
he snaps his fingers, someone walks over. I need more food for what looks to be 7 people. Please, quickly. Do not keep me waiting. These are guests of high importance. As you see people on the other side of the table that are cleaning up what would be someone's meal station.
Would a bow or a kneel be better in this? Do I know? Does it matter?
Do you know?
All right.
Do you know?
Well, I
What would
didn't
you have
remember
done
if
for the king?
Charlie. I didn't remember what Charlie had said, so
Said
he
nothing.
didn't say that. Okay, so then I would bow and I would say, "My Lord Mayor, pleasure to be in your presence."
Oh, please, you do not need to bow to me. You can continue with the Lord. I like that. That is a good touch, but you don't need to bow. You are my guest.
Cthulhu...
Thank you.
Cthulhu Smith, Paladin of Fortis, my lord.
Nice to meet you. Bryce Cornelio.
Nice to meet you.
As,
Have I met this person before?
You have.
In what capacity have I met him?
He's probably speaking with your parents, and your parents would have introduced you.
Okay. Is he? How old is he?
He
Does he
is-
look?
Well, he is a human, and he looks to be about 40s,
Okay.
Same.
but different. And the
You
rest
can
of your
talk
names.
about the lawnmower and the grass of lawnmowers that be cut by.
What is the rest of your names?
I'll kind of step forward and I'll kind of just give like a small bow and say, "I am June, Ashtara.
Nice to meet you."
It was nice to meet you too, Lord Cornelio."
He has seats around, and he does stand up, and he walks up to you, June, and he takes your hand, and he does give a small kiss to your the top of your hand. He goes, "The pleasure is all mine."
I cringe on the inside, but I let it happen.
Fireball.
They're like, he was like,
no square.
his fingers, is there like sweeping your weight stain on her hand now?
I was gonna say he was just like stuffing
Nah,
his
he would have
face.
wiped it off before, and he goes, "Please, my guests, please sit around the table."
I will go
I'll,
take a seat.
I'll assume my position as Zio's like bodyguard again, and I'll kind of stick to his hip.
Yeah, I'm
I've
going
seen
to.
that with. I sit next to June. After that,
I'll step up and say, Lord Cornelio, it is a pleasure to see you again.
See me again. Have we met before in the past?
Yes, we have. My parents introduced us once before. I was younger then.
Are you going to have to keep making me ask these questions, or are you going to tell me who your parents are?
My parents are the Vunras. I am Zio Vuner.
Oh, welcome. I am very fond of your parents. Please sit right here next to me. You sit at almost the head of the table, huh?
All right, thank you.
He's like, do we have any of the Wunderwein left? No, very well. The Bangian wine then. And somebody
it was
scurries
expired
off.
and we tossed it.
Or they drink it.
And
Yes, and-
you, fellow, as you
Hello.
kind of walk behind his chair, fellows following Lord Wundra around. What is your name?
Hi, I am Uridan.
Nice to
Harun.
meet you, Uridan.
It is a pleasure to be in your presence, my lord.
Please, have a seat.
Then I just sit down next to Zio, but I am starving, so I just start stuffing my face.
The
Or
food
the
isn't
food's
out
not
yet. Food isn't out yet, but it,
I eat the table.
Just spork and knife in hand.
My Lord
Like
Slice
Furbog,
on the table.
my Lord Furbog friend, I have not seen any of your kind since I went adventuring when I was young to the north.
Yes. Yes, they call me, my name is Alar.
Nice to meet you, Ayla.
Pleasure.
Please, please have a seat. I'm sure that you are all ravished.
I will sit kind of like across from Zio.
And your name? Looking
Me?
at you, Cthulhu. Yes, your name.
Kathin Smith.
Nice to meet you. You come very well prepared for dinner.
Oh. Yes, I understand that I am in armor.
Yes, very odd, but it's okay.
Chink, chink.
And,
You never know what trouble you're gonna be in.
and you, my masked capered friend, what is your name?
My name is Ecclesius. It's a pleasure to meet you, your lord, my lord.
Oh, what was that name again? I love it. I love your accent. Please say it again.
Ecclesius.
Please, one more time. Let me hear the music of it.
Ecclesius Ziolemerius.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh.
Beautiful. Please have a seat.
And
I love
this
this guy. I love
is
him. I love him.
our friend Tajit.
Hello. I'm here for the. I'm Tajit. He's like, no, speak, please. Tell me what are you here for then? I was gonna visit the college, and he gets kind of bashful. Oh, glorious! I think that it is. Yes, it is still running. As he looks to Charlie for confirmation.
It's gonna be a barn.
I know, right?
It's,
Like
it's,
3
one,
guys
old,
throwing
it's one
spells at
old
each other.
guy. It's just one old guy trying to.
You want to
teach
learn
them.
something?
Welcome to the Meteorology College. We teach you how to make this place feel real sick.
As Tajit sits down, kind of the furthest away, sitting next to Ecclesius, he is like, "Where is the food?" And you can see one of the servants that was standing there kind of jumps and runs off quickly, and then probably within a minute they rush the food out and they place it all in front of you, and they place him a plate with some lighter foods, cheeses, bread, and fruit. But you all have, there's mutton, there is turkey, there is different fruits, there is Bonvian wine. He's like, is there anything people that my guests would specifically like? Yes, you look like an eclectic taste, man.
Do you have sugar and water? What sugar water?
I'm
Sugar
sure
and
that we
water.
can get that. Can you go get some sugar cubes, please? Is that okay? Do you need it from the cane?
No.
Can I get a
No.
water, please?
Of course. Just quickly, they should be. You know where they are. Go do your job.
Thank you.
I'm the king. Find the food.
I have finally met somebody who I can relate to.
Oh my gosh.
You know where they are. Do your job.
What's the mutton look like? Like, how did the mutton? Is it in a big?
It's best to be braised, so it is a braised beef stick of mutton.
Okay, so it's not like, cause I was hoping to like. I'm not gonna ask for it because that would be too obvious. But I was hoping to be like a big turkey leg, and then I just imitate exactly how.
Oh,
you
I mean, the
described,
turkey
but-
leg is gigantic.
Is there a turkey leg there?
There's
It's
a
a
whole
large
ass turkey
turkey.
that you can rip the leg off of. The leg looks like
Oh.
a football.
Oh, turkey. I'm not used to this. And
Please, do
I
not be
grab-
tactful. Dig in. I'm sure that you're very hungry.
There,
Where is
and
that
I-
sugar?
Only fruits and veggies for Ecclesius.
And someone comes scurrying out, kind of fearful of him. Cornelio yelling at him, and puts the sugar cubes in front of you, and gives you both a tankard, and there's a pitcher of water in front of you.
Thank
No,
you so
please,
much.
leave us. Leave us. No, Charlie, you
Clink,
stay.
clink.
So,
I'm going to start using silverware to start cutting into the mutton and eating all fancy like.
I'm eating the turkey leg with my hands. Just.
I'm using
I use
silverware.
the knife. I use his knife, but I have my spork.
I find a berry or like a grape and I just put my claw in it.
so, I hope the food is all to your liking.
Very much.
It is wonderful. Thank you very much for this fine meal.
You are very welcome. Tell me, how are your parents? Last I heard, they were heading south, if I believe.
I haven't spoken to them in some time. I've been out doing some traveling, exploring.
Oh, that is right. You are the child that they spoke of. You have, refresh my memory, you have a sister, yes?
No, I do not.
A different family then. Any siblings?
No, I'm actually the only child.
Oh, that is... I must be mistaken. There must be somebody else taking over some sort of operation. That is my fault. I apologize, but you are the son that they said that was traveling all through Falbian.
That is the plan, yes. It looks like recent events have brought me back to a familiar neck of the woods, at least.
Well, it is odd. You look quite older than what they described to me. But, you know, they could be just complimenting you beyond your years.
Actually, it is a curse that is I have found during my
and
travels.
he looks at all of you. Old age is a curse. I know this well. It is okay. You will bear it with much dignity.
Yes, thank you.
So,
You could say you're aging like fine wine, Zio.
like his fine wine, Elon.
Literally learned how to speak.
Don't talk with your mouth full. Don't make jokes with your mouth full.
So, what brings you all to my land?
Well, we were bringing our friend Tajit to the college.
Oh, that is wonderful, and I'm sure that it will be worth the trip. He looks at Charlie.
Me and
Yes.
Can I insight check that?
Yeah.
I was about to say, can I insight check that as well? I want to see
I feel like you guys don't.
how shitty is the college.
So say, I agree with Jude, but sure, if you want confirmation.
I just want to see how shitty the college is.
I mean,
We didn't do that for my
you
spa.
say a 14?
12.
Yeah, 14.
He is overly shocked that anyone would be like, yeah, okay, that's
So now,
worth
can
it.
I insight check all of Tajit again?
I was gonna say, what is Tajit doing?
Yeah, how does he look?
He seems intimidated by this place and him.
Okay.
I finish chewing the turkey, and I say, well, me and Zio, we also wanted to visit Uthran again. It has been some time on our adventures away from home.
Oh, well, welcome home then. You're there.
Thank you. Yes.
How long ago did
What I meant,
Orders of
how I
Uthran
intended that to be received.
expand out this direction?
Oh, some time ago. It was, we'll just say, given to us very easily. It is our new
I
land.
see.
We are expanding borders, as I'm sure that you know. And he leans in and, you know, kind of does the behind the hand talk for Zio to lean in.
I lean in.
As you know, Celeria has been in control a little too long, you know?
Kind of just nod my head, and that's about it.
So now that you have delivered your friend to the college, what do you all plan to do from here?
I think our current plans were head up to the city of Uthran. I wanted to show my new friends my wonderful estate and show them how we make our fine wine.
Well, that will be a wonderful journey. Do you plan to meet up with your parents on the way up then?
Yes, that was the idea. I'm not exactly sure how far they will be on their travels, and it's been some time since I've received any letters from them.
No,
which
of course.
which of the roads would they be taking? Do you know?
I'm not too sure. Someone as affluent as your family, they might even be taking the airship.
That is true. That is true.
Wait, what?
Have I ever heard of?
Have I ever heard of an
before?
airship before?
You know that Uthran has an airship.
Okay. Okay.
I have a question. I learned coming back home that the citizens of Uthran, they have a special coin. Being a furbolg, I did not get one because I did not live in a big city, I presume. Is there any way that you could get me
He
one?
looks perplexed and he looks to Zio. Is he talking about his citizenship?
Yes, he's from one of the northern tribes.
Oh, that's what he means. He was not civilized. I understand. And I apologize for your grief. But of course, we can get you one, mate. And Charlie, do you have yours? Yes, give it. He takes it and he throws it to you. There you go.
Thank you, my Lord
Charlie's
Mayor.
coin?
Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie will be here longer. We can get the new coin. It's not like it's
Note this
inscribed with
down.
your name or anything.
That
Looking at
is
it,
good
Making
point
sure
to
it's
have
not
known.
inscribed with the name Charlie.
On the
This
back
is
it says
Charlie.
Charlie with the error.
Here's where I am, Charlie.
So, my child, what do you plan to learn at this college that you are studying? Yeah, well, yeah, I have a little bit of an aptitude for magic, so I was just looking to learn a little bit more. Like, well, I hope that everything you wish to learn is substantiated by the college itself. Thank you. And he goes back to eating.
Why do I get the feeling that this college is broken or not there or something? Seems like you.
Well, of course it is there. It is just the travel from. Where were you coming from again?
South.
Well, depending on how far south you are, the travel north might not have been worth it for a college as small as this.
You could save us from walking any further out of our way if you would let us know if it even be worth it.
Well, I mean, he is here, you took the travel, so you might as well.
Do you know of any other mage colleges that I guess you might be comparing this one to?
You know, I do not know of one directly, but, and he leans in, I did hear of a rumor that one up in the northern forests of Uthran. I heard that there is a pretty opulent one there. But that is just speculation, I do not know.
Oh, look at Alar.
Yeah, does that ring a bell? Like,
yeah, same.
at all?
Does Aylar
make
know about
a history check.
schools?
History check? Okay.
Make an Arcana check.
Arcana? Oh.
Make an animal.
Would you like me to do the
check, you
same?
monster.
Sure.
Wait, was that the right one? Yeah, that was the right
You
one.
monster.
Oh, I actually rolled good. That's a dirty 20.
Hey.
Ooh.
Arcana +1.
I literally ask if we know where another college is.
12.
No one knows.
12. You aren't sure, Alar. Not something you probably would have ran into, a college in the middle of the woods and been like,
Fair enough.
all right.
Oh, okay.
Zio, you have heard rumors of the exact same thing.
Oh, yes, I've heard of that place.
Yes, and he puts his hand on your shoulder. I'm sure that you have. It is a common. It's a common conception of running around Uthran. I've never been there myself. Maybe I should invest there. Bring it more to the
It
light.
seems like you've invested quite heavily in Frayes.
Well, of course, I have to invest in my own land.
Yes. How has this land been prospering for you since you've made such a large investment?
Well, this time of year, I'm sure that you know that it is prospering very finely.
It does seem that way.
Yes.
What, I could be wrong, but I heard something of a merchant up here, Lord Kep? Was that right?
Lord Cap, Charlie. Well, I could look. I'm not sure. I could look.
Is
into
that- Sorry, is that the right name that we saw in the ledger?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
I am not sure of his name. Is this an old name?
No, just someone I heard of trading things. I was interested in talking to him.
Oh, well, we can look into that so we can get you acquainted.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. As you can tell that he has not touched the food that has been laid before him anymore. He's just watching all of you indulge.
How did you hear of our arrival here? We were surprised to be greeted by Charlie so kindly.
Well, I am well informed for anyone entering my city.
Fair enough.
Especially 7 adventurers so brightly colored as yourself.
Is there maybe something that we could use our skills to help you with?
Well, possibly. But, how is all of your meals? Are you all quite finished?
Oh, yes, I'm very satisfied. Thank you.
Good, good. He leans forward. So, let us get down to brass tacks. I have it on good authority that you all work very closely with the city of Solaria. Is this not true?
No.
My allegiance is with my god.
Seems that your informant is getting sloppy. I don't work for Solaria.
No, that is good for you. That would be troublesome. Charlie, do you have that pad? And he walks over with a small journal and he flips it open and goes, yes, I believe that you have been, or in the past at least, your group has worked with a Lord Uthran. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
We didn't really work for him. We were accused of something and we had to get out of it.
I've heard that he likes to do that. He is an investigator for the city of Solaria, no?
To our knowledge, yes.
They can be tricky, especially if they accused you of something. You have to watch those Solarians.
Do you know of that instance at all?
The one that you were accused?
Yeah.
I do not know. My informant. Would you like to inform me of it?
Yeah, well, we were accused of the murder of Lord Nudal. I don't know, have you heard at all about that?
Of course I know about the Lord Nudal's murder. Who would not, especially from Uthran? He looks at Zio, am I right?
Of course.
Does he
was
seem
a very
like?
important member. Yes, Jin?
Does he seem happy about it?
About Lord Nudal? Make an insight check.
Yeah, I wanted to. Can I join her on that?
Sure.
Yes, please. It's a 7.
All right, another dirty 20.
All right.
He
I
did
sure
not.
rolled
My fucking luck.
He didn't bat an eye when he was speaking about the murder.
Did you have a relationship with Lord Nudal? I heard he forged a peace between the two nations.
Me directly, no. I've only spoken with him a handful of times. But, sorry, just to be thorough, I also have it on good authority that you have returned to Solaria recently, no? From a long travel.
We were there to visit a friend that we had left behind.
Oh, and who would this friend be?
Man named Sven.
I stand up actually at this point.
I'm sorry, have I offended you?
Indeed. I do not mean offense by being this abrupt. But I don't find it, at least where I come from, to feed new friends and then poke and pry into every moment of their life leading up to this moment, when it appears that you've had somebody following us already.
I do apologize for this insult, and if I could be able to fix this relationship that we are trying to forge, I mean no offense, but I am more trying to make sure that my informant is not someone that I cannot trust, and you all seem to be quite virtuous. I do apologize, and I understand completely how that has sounded.
Can I take a quick look
Slowly
at
step
Tajit
back
right now?
Mm-hmm. You just want to see what he's doing?
Yeah.
Very.
He's
Where
just
you
doing
guys,
stuff.
where you guys have very quickly eaten your food. He doesn't even look like he's halfway through, just very slowly eating, not even looking up for the conversation.
Where is he sitting in relation to June and I? I'm sitting to the left of June.
You're sitting to the left of June. So it goes you, June, well, the head of the table, you, June, Cthulhu, him.
Who's on the other side of the table?
Alar and Zio. And Uridan.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I'm going to speak up. Have you hired? Wow, I'm blanking on the name. Big one. I'm blanking on all the names tonight.
It is okay.
It's okay. You're rolling well.
Yeah, right.
For once. Yeah.
Just roll for
Usually I
it.
got the names down.
20,
but, who's the big bad with? Why am I?
The Bureau.
Bureau?
Bureau. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. That's a name that should have been burnt into my brain a while ago. I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought there.
It's alright.
Have you hired the Bureau by chance as your informant?
Well, this is actually, if I could be a little bit more transparent, my contact is actually here in the building as we speak, enjoying a nice rest and bath. But the reason I was not specifically looking into all of you. When you arrived in my city, I had a chat with them, and they informed me of what they could. But, to answer your direct question, I believe he is excommunicado from the Bureau itself.
I see. Does he happen to be a Dragonborn?
He does not. He is quite larger. He would be a Goliath if I believe that race would be correct.
What did your informants inform you about us?
Mostly what I mentioned, and that there was a scuffle a few months back. But you
June.
left amicably, as you are all alive, and so are they.
June kind of just stops engaging in the conversation, looks down at her meal, and just kind of does some deep breathing.
I put my paw on your hand.
And every time I exhale, my hair just kind of goes. Whew, whew.
Alar.
As you're looking down and breathing, he does take note of this, and he looks at Zio, and he goes,
Alar is eating every last strip of meat on that bone. He's almost gnawing on the bone.
Are you holding it with your feet? You're holding it with your feet.
No, but just
I'm
kind of making sure I strip every bit of flesh
last
off
time
of
I
that
eat.
bone.
I'm sorry, did I touch your nerve?
Yeah, I'm going to stand up now and say, well, our meeting didn't necessarily end amicably, if I can pronounce words, as he might have said, and I think that it is time for us to leave now. I do thank you very much for this great meal, but I think on that note, if you do not mind, we'll be on our way.
Well, Lord Vanra, if I may, this would not look too great as to deny my hospitality, would you agree?
I understand how it might look, but I think that it just might be in our best interest to get moving.
I stand as well with Zio, and when he says the whole, after Zio just says that, I slide my mask above my head and look right at this guy. Are you threatening us?
Before he answers that, at the same time this is happening, Cthulhu, Tajik kind of leans over to you and he goes, What about the mayor? What if he's here? We can't just leave.
Tajit, I understand. I was gonna ask about that before this all happened.
Very well. He speaks to you, Ecclesias. Oh, of course not. It did not mean any sort of offense. But I just thought it might be, as it seems that you are some sort of connection with Solaria, it might be insulting for the new town of Uthran to be denied.
Well, let's get this straight. We are not ambassadors on behalf of Celeria. We are here as travelers.
Of course.
If anything, we have been asked to lead the Jit here safely across these dangerous roads. But it seems now that we can't leave on our own accord, because that would not be wise, as you say.
No, you are free to leave. I am not keeping you shackled.
I will kind of take like one last deep breath and let it out. Lord Cornelio.
Yes, June.
When you mention that your informant is the person who he is, you must understand that he is directly responsible for murdering one of our friends. And therefore, the fact that you say that he's here, it strikes a nerve. We are not intentionally disrespecting your hospitality, but there is history between your informant and myself and my companions.
He takes a
So,
minute.
if he had mentioned to you that his interaction with us was in any way cordial, you have been deceived.
That is unfortunate, and I, with a heavy heart, and humbly apologize for the insult that I have spewed, and for the company that I have kept. I did not mean to offend, but any information is good information until proven otherwise, which you have clearly done here.
I would watch your back if this is the kind of company that you want to keep. Things from what we have seen have not been so nice in the path that this man leaves behind.
Could it be that people can change? Or is he that much of a viper?
I don't know
wasn't
if
that
I can
long
change
ago.
that quickly. Yeah.
I agree.
Well, this might be a brash change of topic, but while we're on difficult ones, do you know what happened to your predecessor, Lord Mayor?
Of course I do.
Would you care to indulge us? Tell us what happened.
Of course I can. But, what do you plan to do with this information? Why are you so curious?
I just want to make sure you didn't murder the man, to be honest. I don't want to be in company that's filled with people like the man who's murdered my friend. I'm just wary. That's at least mine. I don't speak for everyone here.
Also, I believe a handful of us have been through this city. Not too long ago, but long enough. And I guess you could call it just curiosity as to what events unfolded from our last visit and to now.
My own curiosity is that of I was not made aware that Uthran's borders were formally expanding. And my journeys now, may that be the lack of information handed down to me from my parents, whoever's fault that may be, I was shocked to see that our borders have pushed this far.
Well, I'm sorry that you are out of the know, if you are, in fact, in need of knowing. But, if you've been away from home for long, that might be the reason. But I am sorry that you were not informed. What can No, go ahead.
A question for you, DM. You had mentioned that the Uthranian crest and colors and banners differ from the Cornelio family crest, colors, and banners.
Correct.
And that Frayes is adorned with Cornelio colors, crest, and banner.
Correct.
If I, well, yeah, okay. I'll ask him a question after.
Okay. Now, I can tell you that the mayor, yes, is alive. The former mayor. Now, let me ask you, if this adversary, as it were to walk into this room, would I need to be worried?
We would prefer that he not.
I would not recommend it.
However, I don't know as far as what you mean as do you need to be worried?
I think what he's trying to say is that this is a very fine home that he has here, an office, and does he need to be worried about a fight ensuing? And to that, my response would be, no doubt tempers would be high, but I think that as long as no action is taken upon us, we could walk out of here. But it would be immediate. We would want no sort of communication. And I hope that you understand that.
And what about the other gentleman that was with him? Should I worry about him too?
We only saw a shadow of a person with him, so I don't kind of look around. I don't think any of us got a good look at the gentleman that he was with.
Well, would you be able to speak with that man to hopefully meet some sort of mutual benefit and assurance that nothing will happen in my city?
Is there a need for us to speak and find a mutual assurance with these people? We're here sitting at a table speaking with you directly.
Well, I assume not. There would not be a problem, I assume, if you are leaving my town. But I cannot force them out.
Can I ask you a question? This might be harsh.
Please.
Well, for one, I believe that gentleman, I'm personally more interested in talking to him. But secondly, well, I mean, have you negotiated a contract with these people?
I would not call it a contract, but a mutual beneficial happenstance.
And this is just a question, hopefully you've been considering it. Do you think it will always be beneficial to the other side for this relationship?
I guess that is something that the future will have to tell.
There's always someone with more money.
Well, I have money.
At this point, you can kind of like the inside of my arms kind of glowing this like grayish hue from like the inside part. I'm just kind of focusing, breathing.
Dear Lord,
Tajit,
would you mind...
Before you speak, Zio, Tajit speaks to you again under his breath, Cthulhu, and he goes, I really think we should find the mayor as quickly as possible. This seems very unsafe.
I agree. I don't think we're safe here, and I
You
don't
all,
think
you
we're safe
all
for
need
long.
to find him. Zio?
I agree.
Dear Lord, would you mind if we stepped out and had a private conversation quickly?
Of course, if that is what you would like to do.
Thank you, I
If you like, I can leave the room for you, and Charlie and I can leave you in peace.
I have a quick question. You seemed to be keen on us leaving, possibly?
Well, there will be no problems between you and this adversary if you are not in the town.
Would it be a good exchange if we left with the former mayor, guided him back to his homeland? I am not saying that we are working for Solaria, but I like to keep people alive. I see myself not as a warrior, though many people see me as that, but more of peacekeeper who wields a weapon.
That is a good point, because I was also contracted by the people for whom I work to bring him back in person, as he does owe an item to someone for whom I work.
Why don't we do this? You wish to speak alone, please take the courtyard or the town. Have your discussion. And tonight, we will have a dinner, and we will discuss things further at that point. Does this sound fair?
I think
I
so.
think that does sound good.
Can I ask a favor of this dinner?
What would that be?
And I hope everyone will agree to this. I am certain some of my party will disagree. Can we all leave our armor and weapons at the door?
Absolutely not.
No.
Sure.
Absolutely not. I will not.
I am okay with that.
I have none.
That is not happening for me. I am sorry.
Well, Aylar, it appears that your group has denied your request. But please, come back, we'll say, right around dusk.
Well, Lord, I guess I agree to your dinner. I guess my question is, do you plan to have the individuals we have discussed previously present?
I do not know. At this present moment, my discussion is with you. And with your demands or trade that you'd like to make. But I will be having a conversation with them and confronting them about the lies apparently they've been telling me.
Your Lord, I look forward to having dinner, and I hope that this can remain between us and you, and that there will be no need for them to be present. I think that is something that would make our relationship more beneficial.
If that is what it takes to have trust between all of us, then that will be what happens.
Thank you. So we will see you tonight then.
Very well. Stay safe and enjoy your college. And he stands up and he goes, more cleaning. Get it done quickly. Do your job. And he walks off. And Charlie goes, well, it seems like I will be seeing you again.
It will be my pleasure, Charlie. Please inform. We don't know their names, to be fair. Do you know their names by chance?
Actually, funny enough, they are not on my itinerary. I don't. That's odd.
Interesting. Either way, and this is probably only from me, but at least send my regards and to the two, and
Okay.
it's phrased strangely, but maybe not my regards, but respect, for they too are capable.
I will pass along your message, Lorela.
Thank you, and I am most certainly not a lord.
Very well. Ayla.
Sorry.
And
Those titles make me feel uncomfortable.
he begins to walk towards the door again. And
I pull Tajit as we're walking. I'm kind of like sad talking to Tajit. And Tajit, you.
Are we just not at a group anymore?
If we are, then you guys can hear me. If you, I mean, but I'm specifically like only like talking to him.
You might not want to go to this college, Tajit. I know we've brought you here, but I don't trust this town once at all.
I'll make sure that you all find the mayor.
Please, we need to. Well, hopefully, maybe he's at his old estate. If this isn't his estate, sadly.
Tajit,
Yes. As you guys get to the door.
Are we walking out?
Yeah. As you get to the door, Charlie goes, well, we will see you all in just a little bit. Please, enjoy the town. And
Thank you, Charlie.
as you all exit, the door shuts, and as you are all walking into the courtyard, that's where we're going to actually take a break.
I got a question.
Right.
And just remember you have a question for Tajit. But thank you, Shay, for the 4-month subscription. Thank you so much. And thank you for everyone that's still hanging out using the new Duo emote. I almost said
It's so
Dio.
cute.
It is. So
Roddy James Dio.
Yeah. Exactly. But we're going to take a short break, probably about only 10 minutes, so we can hop back into it and not lose the tension of the moment. But we will see you soon. Make sure you stick by and enjoy the lovely music produced by our very own Ecclesias. We'll see you soon. Don't go too far. Bye-bye.
You afraid they would tune
We're
in
going
on
to
some
the
like
swallow.
irresponsibly vicious macaroni noises or something?
Well, if the
Alright.
guards aren't real, we
So-
get that.
Ew.
As you're all walking back down the steps into town, what would you all like to do?
So
was gonna-
I didn't want to actually walk into town. I wanted to read my book. Actually, is what I was starting to think of doing.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
actually,
I'm not-
no, before I wanted to do that, I wanted to ask Taji a question.
That's right.
I just remembered. Cheat.
Yeah?
How well do you know the Goliath and his companion?
Only from what you all told me.
Is he lying?
Yes.
Yes. What do you
Right.
want?
And I
Insight
roll
check.
for insight. I don't
Insight
like.
check. It's just so jarring because you're the only one that does it, so I'm not used to it.
Sorry.
Is he a lying bitch?
You lying bitch.
He allowed
Because remember, insight's also not a lie detector test. So,
I know.
like, even if someone's lying, I'm not gonna be like, he's lying. I'd be like, I don't know, he's
Alright.
gaze averse,
Shifty.
you know?
19.
19, he looks at you dead in the eye, pretty confident. I have no idea.
So be it.
So
How much did you
Where-
say I got through my book? Actually, would be a better question than saying
on and
this
off
that
reading
you-
it for a couple hours. Probably a quarter of the way through.
quarter of the way through.
'Cause I,
Do you think
yeah,
I'd be
'cause
able
I would
to
think
finish
that there's
it?
some nights where you're probably hunting. You're not always reading the
Yep.
book. So.
Do you think I'd be able to finish it sitting on the step, not on the steps, but in the courtyard, back up in the thing?
It'd
You
probably,
think I could finish it?
it'd probably take you a day or two of just straight reading for you to finish it. It's not like you're
Okay.
reading a novel that's telling a story. It's like you're reading the Bible.
Yeah, I am actually curious about the Bible in this case. Not to diss the Bible, I'm sure it's fantastic. But hang on, let me dig my hole. Let me
Yes,
get a better
Cthulhu.
shovel.
Yes, Cthulhu.
Take back out of there.
How much? I was gonna actually ask this earlier with my book as well. Am I almost finished with it? Because I've been.
You've been
Pretty
reading it
good.
about almost about the exact same time as Aelar
Not
has.
true, but okay.
So
Like,
where exactly are we?
you guys
We're right
are
outside the
walking
door.
down the steps or standing in the courtyard.
And are there any guards or any ears?
There's 2
That
guards
could
in
be
front of the
fine.
house, but they're out of earshot, and obviously they're watching you because you're standing in front of them.
Yeah. Well, I say that we go find somewhere nice and quiet to talk.
already?
You
Any
guys
objection?
wander. You guys wander for a slight bit, and you're able to find a not an alleyway, but a side street that doesn't really seem to be too popular.
As soon as we get into a space where I feel safe, I'm just gonna look at Tajit and say, "Who are you, really?"
I'm sorry. I'm only laughing because I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Who are? Where is she?
The fuck are you?
My name is Tajit. I've told you I'm a mage and I wish to learn more from the college. I've told you this. And I apologize for my past lies, but they were only to protect my personal life.
Really, because as soon as we got into the town, your goals kind of shifted from wanting to go to the college to making sure that we're going to get to the previous mayor of this town.
Well, that in my defense, that's. Did you see how hostile that got? I was worried. It was very tense. It wasn't just a regular, meal. And I did say that I was gonna help you find the mayor before we got here, and before I would go to my college. I did say that.
What were you doing in the courtyard?
Real quickly, can I make an insight check
What happened?
to
in the
see
courtyard?
if he
Go for the
actually...
insight check and answer your question. I was casting a spell. I was casting locate creature to see if I could, find what remnants of this mayor there may be. Unfortunately,
Did you
I
find
didn't
anything?
get any result, no. Because I don't know him well enough.
Yeah.
16.
16. Everything that he said, everything he has said, were not lies about, him saying those things. You recall him saying those. But with his delivery of it, he seems pretty straightforward. His gaze does avert, every now and then, but he did the same thing when you guys confronted him in the tavern.
Here is my problem with you, Tajit. Either you are not telling us everything. I do not think you are lying. I just think you are not telling us everything. Or you are a really bad truth teller.
Well, the first part, I'm not a liar, and the second part, I didn't understand.
That you are not good at telling truths?
Because I feel like you just inherently are good at that. Because it's the truth.
I feel like you always seem like you're lying.
I feel like you're not telling us everything.
Again, I apologize. You all intimidate me as well. It's not easy to speak with all of you sometimes.
I don't believe you are who you say you are.
What do you wish me to do? Do you wish me to leave then, Zio?
What are your true intentions here?
My intentions were to help you locate the mayor before going to the college, which apparently is pretty mediocre. But if you don't trust me and wish me gone, then I will take my leave to this college.
I don't trust many people right now. Those that you see here, besides yourself, are pretty much some of the only people who I trust. And things are very strange right now. Forgive me for not putting the utmost faith in you, but it just seemed like your goals tend to switch as soon as you got here. I understand it sounds like the college isn't exactly the place that you'd want to sit down and spend your life, but it seems a little bit convenient that we're headed here to do something and some random person wants to tag along, and as soon as we get here, they're trying to keep us focused on a specific goal that we told a specific group of people that we'd do.
I agree, that is odd. And like I said, since I am not trusted, I can take my leave.
There's
That's up to everybody else.
There's a certain spell, if I'm able to execute it, we can get everything out of Tajit, but I've never done it. I have just seen my predecessors and everyone else do it that is better than me. If we are truly against Tajit, do we need to do this? Because we can't be against everyone. Like I've been told, we can't just fight our way through everybody. We have to have some faith in people.
Why are we against Tajit?
That's what I'm wondering too.
I'm not against Tajit.
The mayor mentioned that his informant is the Goliath, and whoever the Goliath's partner is, it's not like we're wondering if Tajit is the informant. If you were locating a spell, or if you were using a spell, Tajit, it might help to mention what you're doing. Aside from myself and Zio and Cthulhu, and well, aside from myself, if you're using components and things like that, nobody else is really going to understand what you're doing.
That's true.
Well, let me just say this so you all understand my train of thought. But it seems like I got the impression of, I could be wrong, it wouldn't be the first time, but it seems like Tajit might be working for King Salias or Lord Ekron, rather than wanting to go to the college here. He wanted to come with us to make sure that we're doing what we said we would do.
Is that true, Tajit?
No, that is not true. I've never even met the king. Oh, well, I guess technically I've kind of met Lord Ekron when
We
were
met.
all there. Yes, but I've never directly spoken with him.
Why are we all targeting Tajit? I don't understand where his
Welcome
trust.
to the conversation.
It
I
sounds
just,
like I am the only one who is having these feelings, and I
You're not
apologize,
the
Tajit.
one.
I don't think you're
Oh.
the only one, Zio. I think that all of our nerves, all of our everything and is tense and high right now. And I think that we all just need to kind of take a breather and look at the facts and what's in front of us.
I want to know why we brought up Sven to this guy, mayor. That did not need to be said.
Because the mayor specifically told the Goliath told him that his last meeting with us was cordial, that nothing had happened. The Goliath did not mention that in his last meeting with us that he killed our friend.
What's he gonna do? Spank him? I mean,
It
like
doesn't matter,
don't
but the whole fact of the
disrespect
matter is that Goliath is outright lying, and Sven deserves better than that.
I
he does.
believe
But you gotta think that this mayor came into this town and took it over. He's not gonna give two shits about what this Goliath did to our group.
I don't really think that he cares. I did it more in the sense that Goliath can't just pretend that he didn't do what he did.
Oh,
I've-
maybe, and I don't even think he is pretending.
Well, to this
think
guy he
that-
was.
The mayor was fishing for information. You don't know. Maybe he construed it himself. He could be lying to us.
Well, what does it matter if he knows that, if he already knew that he killed our friend and we told him
Because
that?
it confirms what the Goliath already knows. You just confirmed it by telling him about Sven, because we straight up told the Goliath that we are from Celeria. We have orders from the king.
And we addressed
No.
that, and I think that we did a pretty good job saying that when we were there, which is true, that we were trying to clear our own name.
Yeah, but I just feel like we told him way too much. We
I
did not need to
feel-
talk that much.
I actually feel like we did a pretty good job of not making him suspicious of us, while also not telling him everything.
See, I think that Lord Cornelio is relatively unbiased. Obviously, he's going to lean towards Uthran's side of things. But I think when it comes to the Bureau and the Goliath, I think that he is, checking his source to see if he's reliable. And we provided him with contrary information. That tells him not to do business with this Goliath. And I think that it is more of a business arrangement rather than a mutual alliance. Although it does seem that is what it has come to at the moment. But I think that he is relatively unbiased in the situation, and so us telling him about Sven gave him some doubt, which he should have when employing the help of this company.
I think that the Lord Cornelio more than any of us. So if that's how you feel, then I trust you and your judgment of him. I think primarily, if you guys have seen that, like, the banners they're not like from Uthran. They're not Uthranian banners, they're his. So that makes me not trust him in the sense of his ambition and his ultimate goal. Even when he says Uthran is expanding, unless they're expanding in the sense of that they're giving certain territories, they're giving families certain power over territories that their intention is to conquer. But
DM, would I know if that's how like things work with Uthran? Like,
you know for a fact that Uthran would never give an entire territory to a noble house.
Got it. Okay.
Uthran, the kingdom, would absorb it. Similarly, how Solaria would absorb it.
Okay. Good to know.
Can I?
Well, June,
sorry.
You're correct there. I think that there's a lot of shady things going on here.
Sorry.
That was it. You're good.
I think that our anger is being taken out on Taji, and I'll turn to Taji and I'm sorry. I think that, at least for me, knowing that this guy is doing business, has a mutual relationship, whatever he wants to call it, with the Goliath makes me uncomfortable. I think that one of the things that did kind of catch my attention, though, is that Lord Cornelio is under the impression that this Goliath is ex-Bureau. And I don't know if that...
Have any reason to believe he's not?
I guess not. But has anybody seen, like, any signs of the Bureau in the city?
We have, but he is either ex-Bureau or an ex... whatever the fuck I am for the Raven Queen.
Wait, is that what you gathered from what we saw?
Say again?
Is that what you gathered from what we saw? That he was not a member anymore?
What did you see?
Somebody wearing the same clothes as these Bureau members.
I'm not talking about that person, but we did. We did see that. We should tell you that now.
Well,
But
she
what
asked
I'm-
if we saw Bureau members. What are you saying, Ira?
What I am thinking about this Goliath is that I think it is plausible he is not a member of the Bureau, and that he was, and that he's running some double or triple twisting thing, but he wields a weapon gifted upon him from the Raven Queen. And that means I have an intuition that the will of the Raven Queen does not line up with the Bureau, and if it does, my reality is completely wrong.
Maybe she just wanted to see what would happen.
The Raven Queen is truly neutral as a god. She doesn't pick good or evil, she stays in between. She doesn't... She may give to the good and then she'll give to the bad to stay neutral. I don't know much about her.
Or what she's doing is she is not giving to the good or the bad. And this Goliath is in the middle.
He killed
From what
an
you've
innocent
seen,
man.
yeah. Do you think that he's
How
in
is
the
that
middle?
middle at all?
But
I don't know yet.
If that is truly middle, then I am the holiest of good.
Or you're on the other end and you don't know it.
Ecclesias, can you tell me what you saw? Well, tell us what you saw.
After Charlie had found us, we were heading to the hall, and in an alleyway there was a humanoid figure in the same green cloak, and was fiddling with something small in her hand. We made eye contact, but they slowly scurried away.
Did they seem to recognize us?
I wouldn't know how to see that in someone's eyes.
He knew that he was seen.
He didn't know that he was seen.
You're sure that they were members of the Bureau?
I did not see a tattoo, and I didn't call out to ask.
But you mentioned the green cloak.
The same colors.
That is the ones we did wear green cloaks whenever we were.
Well,
We saw them.
here's the thing too, is that if the Goliath truly is ex-Bureau, we know from Brick that you don't just get to leave the Bureau. So they're either hunting him, or they're hunting and keeping tabs on us.
Or
And
he's
he's associated with them. Because
That
if
is
he's not
true.
associated with them, then they very well could be hunting him. But
Lord Cornelio said that there was 2 of them. He was traveling with somebody.
I'm assuming it's the guy that was driving the carriage the night that we first met him.
I would assume so too.
We should have asked more.
We should
We
keep an
have
eye
the
out for a
opportunity to
carriage.
ask more.
Humanoid. If it's tall, if it's short, we know the size and dimensions of the man that was on the carriage. There was plenty more to ask. No offense, I'm sorry, Zero, for that.
I'm just saying, this is why I wanted to pull us away so we could get a better understanding of what we wanted to accomplish with this meeting. And now we have the chance to collect ourselves, get some questions in our minds. That way when we go back and talk again, we have a concise message that we want to send.
Yeah, I agree. It's slightly on the side. Is anyone else curious to go back to that alleyway Ecclesias was talking about?
As you guys are having this conversation, it was a flip of a coin. I rolled a die for it. Ecclesias, you get a message in your head. And it says, "Hello." And the second the voice speaks, you are weirdly inherently aware that it is the gentleman that you saw in the alleyway. For some ethereal reason, you understand this to be the sender of the message. "Hello. Are you able to talk about the ongoing situation within Frayes? I believe there are mutually beneficial actions to be taken. You can reply." That's 25.
There's too many angles, Anthony. This is so good.
The Bureau is the Bureau, the Bureau, the Bureau.
I know, right? Like,
I think
who's in the Bureau? I don't even know.
he's just adding characters at this point. It's like, this will fuck with them.
Oh my god.
So what is your immediate reply, Ecclesias?
25 words.
I just beatbox until I feel like the time runs out.
Until I feel like the time runs out. You got 15 more.
Hello. Yes, I saw you and know your colors representation. I have time to speak if you have time to listen. No weapons, just you.
And you get another message in your head, and he speaks. "There's an alleyway to about your..." Alright, I just realized clocks aren't a thing. To your 6 o'clock. There's an alleyway
Clocks
not far
are.
off of your right.
You old sundial.
I'm within it. Bring your adventuring party, and we will discuss. No weapons, just a discussion. We will be going underground.
I reply with, that was more than 25 words. I don't know, they weren't counting, but I'll turn to the rest
And
of
then
the
he
group.
casts back, different spell.
And then I reply to the group. I just received a message in my mind. Follow me. I know it sounds crazy, but
Even God was like, yeah, that's the way to get it.
I have no idea that this.
June's in.
The yes, it's the person that Aylar and I saw contacted me. So
Well,
stay
what
your
did he want?
weapons.
This'll
We
be
will
interesting.
find out. He finds a new angle to this whole mess. So it is an alleyway not too far from here, but please stay your weapons.
Supposed to
And then
just leave
I'll
him
lead
here.
the way to the place that he was.
Okay.
Do you think this is the same person that was in the Esoteric Assembly and working with the Bureau?
I have no idea.
As you're walking, Tajik goes, should I come?
Might
I
as
think
well.
you should.
All right.
You're a part of us.
He follows. So you head over to
Even
the
though we
alleyway.
wanna-
You head over to the alleyway, and about 20 feet off into the alleyway, you see him, and he goes, "Follow me closely." As he leads you close enough, and he leads you through. Yeah, he's like, "I need to feel the breath." He leads you through enough of the, or like through 4 or 5 different alleyways, as he eventually brings you to cellar doors. As he looks around, and he walks up to the door, and he makes a sigil with his hands, and you can see a like purple shimmer go over it, and he opens the cellar door. He's like, "In, quickly."
I go.
I go immediately in. Do I remember if the Raven Queen was associated with purple?
No, you would assume black.
That's what I thought, but I wanted to double check. Cool.
You all just pile in.
Yeah.
Con save. No.
I watch our backs. I'll be the last one.
He ushers you in. He's like, "Go quickly. I need to reseal."
Oh, okay.
I'm
Then
sorry.
I go in.
I'm sorry, Eddie. Don't be mad. He goes in. And he shuts the door, and then he re-signs a. He redoes a sign in, and you see the purple shimmer go back across. Sorry. He's like, "Do you know the magic?"
Can you shut the
So
door?
he kind of makes his way through the group as you guys are standing on stairs leading into what seems to be some type of sewer.
Yum.
As he leads you through a few hallways, not to get over descript with what a sewer is.
Uridan, can you make this place smell nice as well?
You become a flower girl.
Yeah, rootin' tootin' down the hallway.
With potpourri. So it's a very dark and dingy, not a very well orchestrated sewer system, more cave-like, but you can tell that the ground has been carved out from some sort of waterway. You eventually come to a larger chamber where there is nobody else, and he kind of walks out into the center of it, and you see that there is a grate. You see some sunlight coming in, which you presume to be a grate to some part in the city. Town, god damn it. And he goes, "Well met, everybody. I am sorry that this is very strange, and trust me, this is very odd for me to be looking for outside help, but I believe that it is needed."
Who are you?
What does he look like?
He is dark leather armor with a green cloak that covers the right half of his upper torso that goes over. Thin, very thin, kind of greasy hair that covers one side of his face. He answers, "I am sorry, but I need to ask all of your names first.
Why?
Because I need to make sure that you who I think I need
I
to make
leave.
sure. I need to,
What's that?
I
Need
need
to
to
know
make
if
sure.
how I can be at to now.
Why waste many words when few words do trick? I need to make sure that you are all who I think you are.
My name's Kevin.
Were you in Mirkwood Meadows or Merk, whatever the
Well, I
fuck
think-
name it is,
Merk-
goddammit?
Let's all just have really bad syllables. Merk Meadow Springs. I have not been there in probably about half a year.
I look at Tajit
Okay.
to make sure he's not like looking at this guy like familiar brethren.
Tajit
Got him.
is kind of in. He's like, "Where the fuck are we?"
I'll step forward. I'll say, "My name is Uridan."
Very well, that is a name I recognize. Very
I'm
well.
June.
If you do not trust it, no more names need be given. Those are the names that I've heard, at least. My name is Cinder. It is nice to meet all of you.
Pleasure, Cinder. My name is Alar.
Cinder?
Cinder.
Fuck, why don't I have a pen? No!
Are you who I think I am?
I like that sentence.
But now that we at least have been acquainted, what is your dealings in this city, and why have you come at this time?
Why should we tell you?
Well,
I feel like we need to trust you first before we can tell you
Fair
all
enough.
stuff.
well,
Well, we told the mayor everything. We could just tell this guy everything.
Lorden, we didn't tell him
Lorden.
everything.
Stop. Now is not the time.
I'm
very
sorry.
well. I know of your reputation, and I know that you like to kill my brethren. And he pulls away the cloak, and he shows on his forearm that there is a tattoo of the Bureau symbol on it. He goes, I am a member of the Bureau, and I do know of what happened between you and some of my clanmen in Meadow Springs. But that is not why I'm talking to you now.
Well, go on.
Do you know what happened to us in the Lost City?
Or don't. He's gonna talk first.
I was asking
first.
Oridin. It was not telling.
Well,
Uriden's feisty tonight.
Poor Doty's gonna talk first. He replies,
It's that standing desk. He's got a lot of combo. Get better blood flow.
I didn't know until recently, but I only know because I assume it was all of you. Anyway, I'm sure you know that this town does not normally belong to Uthran.
I think the banners are not Uthran. Call me wrong.
Correct. I'm layman's terms. And
I want to have the right enemy.
of course, I'm here for bigger prey than who I'm assuming, if you are all from where I think you're from. My prey is a little larger, and it's who I am assuming you had run-ins with in the Lost City.
Got a name?
I don't. He only goes by description.
what the fuck is this guy?
My type of person.
No, it's
Just the Goliath that you were looking for too.
yes, and to answer your question, I'm assuming his type don't use names, they use titles, and I don't know his title.
So you telling us that he is not part of your group?
He used to be. He has been kicked out, excommunicated. Well,
Kicked out.
that part is complicated. Long story short, the Bureau wants him dead, and I am the blade of justice that is to have that done.
I think especially if you are looking to us for any sort of help with this, that we need not the long story short. We need to know, why is he no longer a part of your bureau?
He's very radical. He does things on his own, and he seems to speak to gods, and that is who drives him. That is not someone that we need with us. We deal with men and women and the thoughts of us all, but not gods. Gods do not direct what choices we make.
What is the ultimate
Question?
goal of the bureau?
It's not for me
What
to
do you
say.
guys value?
Me? I value coin.
Not you, as an organization.
Let me consult my notes.
What values have they instilled into you?
The Bureau for
Kill
days.
bitches and get money.
Yeah,
Boobs and
I just
platinum.
want a confirmation. I just want a confirmation that the bureau is like kill bitches, get money.
I just,
Right.
I just
Medieval boobies and buckets of platinum.
Platinum.
They just want to spread the word of everyone's warranty on their vehicles.
Oh, Jesus.
Very well. I will meet you halfway.
Shut your face.
There is an overlining goal. But we're more puppet strings than anything.
What's the overlying
I
goal?
can get into that first, but I need a little bit of give and take here.
Okay, fair. What do you
Why
want
are
from
all of
us?
you in this city?
We're here trying to figure out the same thing that you had noticed. Why this is in Uthranian. Actually, it's not even Uthranian, because you notice that the banners are to the Cornelio.
I don't even
I
know.
Not they,
think by happenstance, we might be in the city for a reason similar to the person you want dead.
I've been stationed in the city for about 8 months now. And about 3 months ago, this man with large ships and a lot of numbers showed up. And they didn't kill any civilians, nor did they directly fight anyone unless they opposed. But they waltzed in like this was their town, and I'm assuming took the mayor hostage. I have on good authority he's still alive, but I don't know.
He told us he was still alive,
Well, I guess believe his word for now then.
I suppose. So you said this happened about 3 months ago?
Yes. Now the reason that happened, I am aware, and I can share soon. But it is unimportant to me why he has done this. More importantly is that he had help from this Goliath.
So what do you want from us?
Yeah, what do you want?
I know that you have met with him. Did you see this Goliath? Is he there?
No, but he did. And I'll push Tajit forward. Or at least point at him if he's not in arm's reach.
I saw a larger man eating. He had really, really pale hands. He was eating like a rabid dog. Like, yes, that sounds akin. I've met him once, and I've dined with him once, and yes, he doesn't have tact. Still weak to go on, though.
Also, the mayor mentioned that his contact was a Goliath.
Did he have anyone
Who
else
used
with
to be
him?
part of the
He
bureau.
did, yeah. He had his other companion,
His jockey is with him.
his jockey.
Yes. Powerful members of the Bureau. Sometimes are assigned someone more powerful than them to keep them reined in. Sort of like a collar.
So the Goliath is not only... So the Goliath has been kicked out of the Bureau, and his even more powerful jockey, you say, has decided to go with him.
Well, that was something I was supposed to find out. He was
Wow.
not excommunicated from the Bureau, nor did he leave to our knowledge. But if he is aligned with Goliath, then apparently he has.
What does the Goliath want? Like, why is it beneficial for him? I can only presume for his deity, for this city to fall into the hands of Cornelio.
Well, I've never met his jockey, but like I said, he's a loose cannon of a man, and he explores, and he does what he will. Now, this is the part that may or may not become as a bombshell, and I'm telling you this. It means to have you hopefully help me. You asked what the Bureau wants. Now, where we are puppet strings, but as of right now, what we want more than anything is to incite a war between Uthran and Celeria.
Why?
Those reasons I don't know. Those are not my choices to make. Money.
Well, it seems as
Greed.
if he's kind of instigating that
Yeah.
by helping Cornelius, Corn guy.
So you said that you guys are the puppet strings. Who's the puppet master?
How would I know? It only goes as high as my orders are. And then everything above that, I'm unaware.
How is the Goliath interfering with the war?
Well, if he's helping an Uthranian noble house take a city... Here's the odd part, that you've all noticed, and I've noticed too, that he is not flying Uthran colors. And from my contacts and the people I know that are in Uthran, this isn't a sanctioned takeover from Uthran itself.
So the Goliath is almost creating a third party in the potential war that the Bureau is trying to incite.
Yes. And if
How
I'm
long
being...
ago?
Go ahead.
Sorry, go.
No.
How long ago did this Goliath, or how long ago was he excommunicated from the Bureau?
I'm not too sure. Probably shortly before he showed up here.
Would you say he was still part of the Bureau when we ran into him in the Lost City?
He may have been on his way out. I'm unsure. I was not aware of him until sometime after that. Now, I'm only telling you all of this from what I've gathered about Uthran as a sign of good faith, as even though we are enemies, enemy of my enemy is a friend. And to be honest with you, if there was a war, I could not be happier. I'd be getting a lot of money and a big promotion if I was to help incite that. But my main mission is to take down that Goliath. And that means putting a stop, potentially, to whatever this Lord is doing.
What was your original plan for taking him out?
Take him on head on?
And you think you'd win?
No, which is why I'm contacting you.
And you think that we can win?
I think you can distract him. If you're here to figure out what's going on here, and the mayor is truly alive, if you could find the mayor and pull this Goliath's attention just long enough, I may be able to take care of him. And that is where the mutually beneficial actions come into play. You save your mayor, I get my quarry, and if all works even better, the war is started either way. I do not see a good way for this to end for you. You kill Cornelio, Uthran could see it as an attack, and that he was just an ambassador. As well as, if the mayor dies, then Celeria will see that as a direct attack out from Uthran.
So for you, as a Bureau member, why don't you want either of those things to happen?
Because my current pay is coming from killing the Goliath. If I can kill the Goliath, the mayor will be no problem. But I don't think I can do that without your help. And if the payment is the safety of that mayor, that is my payment.
What's supposed to guarantee us that if we help you do this, that you won't just turn and kill the mayor right after?
There's 7 of you and 1 of me.
Fair enough.
What does the Goliath... Do you know what he wants, what his deity wants him to want?
I don't even want to begin to think what his gods are telling him to do.
You say plural or singular?
I'm not sure. I'm not him, and I do not have his mind.
Is it weird that I want to?
Have his mind?
No, sit down and talk to him.
Whatever you need to do for me to get my quarry, I don't care.
I have lots of questions to ask him. What do you know of the Raven Queen?
I've not heard. Is this a god? Is this his god?
Probably.
I know nothing of him. Her. It's a queen.
I'm not offended.
Alrighty. If we are to help you, when would you want to do this whole thing? Obviously, the sooner the better, for the safety of the mayor.
Are you meeting with Cornelio or the Goliath anytime soon?
Tonight.
Cornelia.
You can do it tonight. Will the Goliath be there?
We can make it be there.
Over under odds, yes.
Well, I don't know about that. I'd say it's probably 50-50 at this point.
But I think the important thing is we can set up a meeting with the Goliath. I think that Lord Cornelio can make that happen. And I think that the Goliath would be entertained by the thought of communicating with us.
I can get in his skin.
That's for certain.
Do you think you would be... This is gonna sound, not narcissistic, but same vein. Alar's Hair in the World-esque. Do you think you'd be more interested in talking to me for, well... We carry similar weapons.
I'm not
What's
sure.
up?
You've met him before. Who is he interested in?
Hi,
I don't-
my name's Cthulhu.
I don't
I
think
think it's
that.
a group.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Hi,
a
my
group
name's
meeting,
Cthulhu.
no matter what. Not one person, because this guy, like you said, he just goes off. He's a loose cannon, whatever that is.
But I share
He
something in
is-
common with him.
Then you guys can converse about that as we're all at the table.
Okay.
Yes, which he said.
I also believe that, in the nicest way possible, Ayla, you talking to him about your god is at the point very second priority.
Well, it might be a
Well,
good
we're-
way to distract him.
We could distract this man by just throwing a coin in his face. There's many things we could do. But I don't want him to. Gods can give you powers. And I don't want to define them in him to just have something that I don't know that he doesn't already have. I think we need to figure it out. Yes.
I think it is very important to ask him about his god. Not in the least because the same god is interested in me, but if his motivations are driven by his god, what he will do next, what he wants, is driven by his god. And, well, the god is less likely to go away.
Aloy, have you ever prayed before? Have you ever
All the time.
kneeled?
Not the gods.
You are under one of the greatest gifts a god can give you in a weapon. Pray to it. You never know the response you can get.
I don't pray to things I don't like.
Well, sadly, you're kind of under contract at this point.
Let me clarify that statement. Swords are symbols of war, and I am not trying to return to that. I will use it, I will treat it well, I will not pray to war.
You are not praying to war, you are praying to a god of neutrality.
Well then,
I
won't
think we are getting a little bit away from the subject.
Zio is correct.
I think that Alar does have a point here, though. The fact that this god has not only gifted Alar a weapon, but sent June a vision. Something she has taken a liking to us, it seems, and more information wouldn't be bad, but I don't think that finding out more about her is the priority here. If that distracts you too long enough for things to get done, so be it. And if we can get some information in the meantime, great. But our goal, since Sven has died, has been to kill this man. And Cinder, we obviously share the same goal as you. Maybe not the large overarching one, but the current one.
My goal has not been to kill him. I have seen many people die. And what I have learned is that I am not angry, I am not happy when justice is served. I am simply sad that they are dead. I don't care if he lives or dies. I do want to stop the war. Because more people will die, and more people will be sad. And that is where, unfortunately, Cinder, I do take issue.
Well, I understand that, Alar, and Cinder, I hope you don't mind me speaking freely here, but in your own words, there's 7 of us and 1 of you. We could very easily, Alar, knock out 2 birds with 1 stone, get 2 objectives completed here.
I think we need Cinder alive.
I agree that that could be very beneficial.
Is he just standing right there?
Yes. What do you think, Ecclesias?
Well, I don't really have a skin in the game with this Goliath. To be completely frank, now I feel I have to be honest. I have no skin in the game with this Goliath. But if because it doesn't even seem like he is taking this down by force. It doesn't seem that everybody is bowing to their knees. It doesn't seem that anybody's enslaved here. So, what is the difference if it's two primary families fighting or three primary families fighting? Isn't there? And well, there are families over there that want this rock and want that piece of water. Everyone fights for things they can slap their name on, and then it crumbles to the next family. So I'm just curious as to, if we were trying to get rid of this Goliath already, why do we need Cinder as an incentive to do so? No offense, sir. And I nod my head towards him.
None
Well,
taken.
we attempted to take him on once before, and he proved much greater an adversary than we anticipated. And I'm sure Cinder knows of this.
I think that Cinder, you and us differ greatly on what we want ultimately. Alar, I agree that the main objective is that there needs to be peace. Otherwise, innocent people die. Much more than just one person or one Goliath. If this Goliath is contributing to this, or if he is so radical that he was banned from a group like the Bureau, then perhaps Sven isn't the only victim that he's going to find. And therefore, maybe if we have the chance to stop him, that we should take it. And in addition to that, it seems like he is allying himself with a family from Uthran that doesn't seem to mind that they go and take Solarian territory, perhaps without the permission of the overarching government, and claim it for themselves. And sure, Ecclesias, you said that there weren't any people enslaved here, but there's definitely not as many people as there were. Therefore,
They might have just
something needs
left
to be
because
off.
I left where I'm from, you left where you are from. It doesn't mean that it is a violent aggression. But, you see, all this following statement means no offense towards your family, but I still don't even know who is their right side. Uthran, Celeria, now this Cornelio.
From what I have taken from all of this is that Celeria seems to want to stay out of war with Uthran, and from what I was brought up raising, or what I was raised being taught, was that Uthran didn't want another war. I think that possibly this Goliath could have influenced Lord Cornelio. I think that, again, it has been quite some time since I've been home, but that is one of the reasons why I want to go, and it is slightly concerning hearing that my parents were traveling. Not quite sure what's going on there, but nonetheless, I think that neither side really wants this, and it seems like there's at least two different factions here trying to put these two kingdoms at war. The Goliath and the Bureau.
So Cinder, just to double check, like Cinder is just still standing right here while we're talking about all this. I want to ask or talk to Cinder real quick. So, you, Cinder, you realize that if we help you destroy this Goliath, you are right next on our list. Because it seems that both of these kingdoms want to live at peace. And you're actively trying to stop that.
I'm aware. But I'm also aware that if this fight should take place, even though that there are many of you and only one of me, we shall probably all be very tired. I don't think there's anything either of us could do after that fight. I'm not worried about anything you'll do to me afterwards. You can deny my request now, and I will still proceed with what I need to do. But if you're in the room, and I try to bring a slight to this Goliath, I do have confidence he will see it as an attack from you.
If you attack him, he will see it as attack from us?
I believe so.
What makes you say that if he sees you attack him? If you hit him with you...
I'm good at not being seen.
Also, you're just like, well, we corrupted a Bureau member to join us.
I know that sounds like a threat, and I don't mean it that way. There's benefits on both sides, and you don't like me for certain reasons, and I don't like you for others.
Well, and also, we saw you earlier, so you're not that good.
I did
It's
see
easy to
you
be
earlier.
seen when you need to be seen.
That's okay.
I think the bottom line is, like you mentioned, Cinder, the enemy of my enemy is a friend. You are also an enemy, but if we have the same enemy for the time being, then maybe we can at least accomplish something.
But June, what I don't understand is where you're going to help Cinder kill someone that is preventing him from putting two places that are at peace at war. We are now that last stone before the mudslide that makes the war happen.
You don't think that the Goliath and the Cornelio being here is going to incite some sort of war in itself?
I am not reacting to all of our ideas. I am reacting to what I'm being told from people that have information. I think, yeah, sure, the Goliath and this Cornelio might start a new war. And then perhaps the Uthran and Celeria will make one big kingdom called Uthrania, Celeruthian, and they will attack the Cornelios. But right now, all I know is that the Cinder, you and your bureau, are prevented from doing your warmongering because of the Goliath. So it almost seems to me if we leave the Goliath alone, we have peace. That's what I am hearing.
I don't believe that he is a wall between war. The reason I'm sent here to kill him is because he's a radical against my organization.
Which would that's what I don't understand from you, Cinder. If your organization's ultimate goal is to create a war and he's a radical, that means he'd be peace.
May I, Cinder? I think I know what's a way to explain this. He is saying that the Goliath is irrational, loose cannon. So he told us the plans of the Bureau. We know they want Uthran and Celeria to go to war. Whereas when the Goliath is in the picture, it could be worse. Or am I far off on that one?
With the Goliath in the picture, the city was peacefully captured, relatively.
Or
I don't say that. No, but what he just told us was that it was relatively without casualties.
Cinder sits down on a box, and ever since you spoke to him, Ecclesius, he has not averted his gaze. And he looks over at you and he goes,
For me?
yes. And he says, now, I don't mean to throw insult, but looking at your... Before I say what I'm about to say, I just want to make sure...
I do have my jacket back on.
Okay, with your
Yeah.
symbols on it. And he says to you, with what guild I assume you're part of, and what they've been doing, do you really think that you're not to blame? We all have blood on our hands, Ecclesius. Even you.
No, I don't have blood on my hands. I have not killed anyone in my life.
Well, with what guild you represent, I find that hard to believe that you are not working just as hard as I am to achieve a goal.
Yes, I'm currently looking for a ring that keeps... Oh no, we actually found that. Yeah, I find things. I have not killed anybody. What are you insinuating about my guild?
Do you truly not know, then?
I know that I've seen one of your members with the person that we killed.
Then maybe it's not as widespread that I originally thought.
Well, spread it,
Please
my friend.
spread it.
Spread it, Sander.
Spread it, baby. He speaks.
Like peanut butter on a piece of bread. Let's go.
Apparently, that is non-important information, and we're diverting course from our current task.
Wait, why did you bring it up if only I...
Because I was under the assumption that you wanted the exact same thing I did.
Water?
But
Why?
apparently I was wrong.
So what do we do here? I look around at the group. I am genuinely prepared.
Gotta stick away from those PRs, huh?
Can I just reach over and
perplexed. I roll my L's too.
I just want to Ecclesias's head real quick.
Oh, please, take your time. Take your time. She's like...
Ew.
Sorry.
Where were we?
Cinder, if I may, I feel like we have some more talking. I'm confused. I truthfully believe that Ecclesius is perplexed by the idea of of his organization wanting war. What do you know that I don't? Please explain, because there's something here that I need to know.
Who are you asking that to?
Cinder.
Again, apparently it's not needed information. And let's stay on task, because there's already enough moving parts without me throwing another cog into the fray.
Well, you've already thrown the cog. You're just not.
You're not fixing it.
To
If you
entice
want
you,
my
I'll
help-
fill you in should you help me.
I am wanting to kill that Goliath. I do not speak upon everybody here, but I personally want revenge.
The way that I see it, and I kind of turn and address at it, everybody, is that the Goliath is not some sort of peacekeeper now. That us getting him out of the picture is going against the peace or inciting war. The way that I see it is that we don't agree with Cinder and his organization's main goal, but he's not here to carry out the main goal. He's here on a mission to take out a loose end, per se, from his organization.
I
And
agree.
He's asking for our help in doing that. We already know that if Cornelio is telling the truth, that the mayor is still alive. But although the town was taken over with, maybe minimal casualties, it was still taken over. And that's not something that, I guess, goes along with peace.
I agree. I think I'm right there with you, June. I don't feel like the Goliath is a peacekeeper. I feel like he's inciting anything he can gain.
I think it's obvious that he is not a peacekeeper. Did somebody say they thought that he was a peacekeeper? This is the third person to say that he is not a peacekeeper. That seems obvious.
When you mentioned it, you mentioned that it was that you felt like if we were taking out the Goliath, then we were actually going along with what the Bureau wants. Unless you were going to say something different, Orden.
No, I agree with Ecclesius. I don't understand where the peacekeeping aspect of the Goliath is coming from.
It was something that Ecclesius mentioned that made
No,
me
what
think
I said,
that's what you thought he was.
No, what I said, no, think about the pieces. Think about all of the pieces. Cinder, you said that this Goliath, is preventing you from doing what you need to do, which is create a war. So by default, this Goliath is an unintentional piece dike in your dam, so to speak.
Ecclesius, if I may, I think that you have that misunderstood. I think that even if the Goliath lives, the ultimate goal of the Bureau can be carried out. I think what Cinder here is saying is that he is not here on that current objective. He is here to kill somebody who has betrayed his organization. He is seeking the kind of revenge that we are seeking, not to start the war. That could be done one way or the other, from what he has said. But he is on a specific task right now, and that task aligns with what we have been trying to do.
And here's something to think too, is that the Goliath didn't leave the Bureau. The Goliath didn't leave because he didn't agree with the Bureau's overall goal. The Bureau kicked the Goliath out because his ideals and his actions were too radical and unpredictable. Not because it went against what the Bureau wanted. Almost as if what the Goliath is doing and what the Goliath wants is worse.
Then let's go kill this Goliath. That seems like where we're going.
I think that is the best option here for
I
everyone.
just I don't know why I've lived a life of peace, an inquiry into the unknowns and the mysteries of the arcane objects, and now I find myself having to take the life of two people in the past 2 Enneads.
I'm gonna turn to Ecclesius and very intently stare him in the eyes and say, and so did I, Ecclesius. But at the same time, things are changing and things are happening. And apparently, and I'll look at Cinder too, and apparently the organization that you've associated yourself with may be contributing to the things that you are saying you don't want to do. Is that Cinder?
Are you snickering right now? Do you find this funny, Cinder?
I do.
Did you remember the time when I saw you in an alley and then you probed my mind to have all of us meet you into a hole under the ceilings of the roofs of the floors of the cities to tell us that you needed all of our help?
I do. But if you didn't need my help, that man would not be alive.
I think that I want to find the original mayor, and I think that I want to help you, Cinder. I don't agree with you and I don't like you, but I think that I want the same thing right now.
Does anyone think that killing the Goliath will create peace?
No, but
Yes.
it might prevent further destruction.
Same difference.
I think we
yes.
need to
Great piece.
we need to take another step away and talk amongst ourselves.
Very well. I'll leave you to it. Keep the room. I'll leave the sigil undone. But
All right, be
I see.
quick, I promise.
I'm going to be at that meeting, whether you see me or not. And if you are with my plan, as I understand, the mayor is very hospitable. Order something salty, and if you need my help, you just call out that it's making you thirsty.
Oh, done. I will write that down so I don't forget it.
But also, Cinder, before you go, I said that I agree with you, but I do want to know what information you can give us about Ecclesias's assembly.
He said that he would tell us if we do this thing for him.
Let's see if we're victorious first. Then we'll talk of further engagement.
Before he leaves, I'm going to try to mark a significant object on him, be it like a necklace or a ring on his finger, and like vividly memorize it.
He's wearing a green cloak. I don't know if... Is that too obvious, or do you want something more subtle?
I wanted something... I wanted something like... It would be personal to him.
He has a leather braided bracelet on his left arm.
Okay. We'll memorize that.
You will take it.
Okay. Does Cinder live?
Yep. He says,
Okay.
"Good luck, everyone," and I'll be watching.
As he leaves, I say,
Fare thee well, and remember, warmongers get what they want.
After a couple seconds, he starts to whistle. That echoes through the sewer. As a couple minutes pass, and you hear as you guys are speaking, and then you guys end up hearing the door open because it's it's loud. So
I realize now it didn't necessarily sound like a warning.
No, I know what you meant. It means that they get what they want, and that's war.
Yeah, you just told him he's gonna win. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. What I meant.
The thing about you is that you're gonna get what you've been looking for.
Do it. You're gonna do it.
take that, bitch.
You're gonna find all the things you've been looking for.
What I wanted to say is that warmongers will get war, and then they will fight and die because war. But that was
that was
sounded
good.
better in
No,
my head.
I gave him a pat on the back. No, that was really good that I was with you. I know what you meant. So people that want to fight will get fighted.
I call this meeting because we have some options here that kind of just dawned on me. We can contact Chester, correct? So,
As I think we should.
yes, we contact Chester. We tell him probably everything. Since we have a neat little sewer hideout right now, and I don't think we are being watched. So we tell Chester, we tell him to send people, and then when we go for the Goliath,
We invade Frayes with the armies of Celeria.
Yeah.
See, I think
then-
that
Isn't
If
that
it's
starting
Uthran
war?
will see- yeah, that's what we want to stay away from.
Even
Oh, damn it.
I think we need.
that part.
It was a very well thought out plan, but
But then we put up flags that say we helped Uthran. Love to live.
We did.
I almost
That's how
feel like
war
if we can take care of this ourselves and put the rightful mayor back in place, it might almost be more beneficial for us to notify Uthran, the Duke.
Well, Mayor Cornpop, he showed up with an entire army.
Well,
Well, you
corn
take it-
pob. Well, then
Cast
maybe we take out the Goliath. We get the mayor of Solaria, and then we go to Uthran and tell the Duke of what's happened. I think if we go and we tell Solaria right now, then they're gonna take it as an act of Uthran as a whole.
Maybe
See-
Chester can talk to Uthran.
What I think
And
we
they could
should do,
coordinate.
What do you think, Zio?
we need to be talking to both the leaders of Uthran as well as the leaders of Solaria.
Mm-hmm.
We go after this. We go to Uthran and we see what's going on in their head. We can, after this, or now, we can contact Chester and let him know that this is not an Uthran sanctioned takeover. This is a single nobleman of Uthran who has acted against the wishes of Uthran. But that information might better be held until we can speak to the leaders of Uthran, but it might be too late then.
Zio, yeah, like you said, we don't have that time.
Ecclesias sits down, like puts his hands on his head.
I know there's a lot of moving parts here, and it is very complicated. And trying to
thing
make
is
the
just-
best of.
I have been trying to practice my ability to speak over great distances, and I can get close to. I don't know anyone in Uthran, but I could talk to them from here. That is the
was
thing.
Curious of that kind of ability myself. I would love to get into contact with my parents, but I don't know how to do this myself, and obviously I am familiar with the people who you would come in contact or you would wish to speak to, but I don't know if there's a way that we can work together to make that happen.
I would need more practice, but I think that this is going to be to kill the Goliath or everything falls away.
I agree.
What we should do is we should inform Chester that there's this rogue nobleman, as Zio said. Chester, he will be able to communicate long distances. He gave us the materials to do that. So he can communicate with the Uthranians, and in the meanwhile, we deal with Cornman.
This sounds good.
I agree.
Okay, but I have
Anthony,
one.
you gave this to us. You did this.
Lord Noodle and Corn Man.
You gave us noodles and corn.
Yeah, quit being hungry when you're making NPC names. And then the great King Manwich comes down on his spaghetti feast.
It's revenge you get for calling all of my characters bitches. All right.
Alright.
But yes, I think. But Rudin, what did you have to say?
I just want to. I don't know if our plan is so far set in that we are going to have this dinner. The Goliath is going to be there, and we will attack when I am thirsty from all the salty meats that I have eaten.
Mm-hmm.
So, I want to ask if you all think we get out of there alive, say the Goliath falls. We're in the mayor's dining room. He's gonna have his army guards. Everyone's gonna be there. I don't see a way of us walking out of there unless he's like, "Oh, good job, killed him."
There wasn't any guards in there when we were there.
Yeah, but he knows that there's tension between us and Big Man, so Cornbread's gonna go and order the whole hall in army.
He offered to bring him in instantly, with no other authority there. I don't think he cares. I think he thinks we're noble or whatever enough to keep our
He
way.
does not think we're noble.
I think that he
Needs us.
is not trusting 100% the Goliath. And I think that at worst, he will have us thrown out. I don't think that he will, as long as we don't retaliate against the city, I think that we will be alright. It will be seen as a major offense to conduct this in his own dining hall. But I think that is a worthy price to pay, getting kicked out of the city.
I
We need
think
to take this Goliath down.
we
Okay,
need to
so
take the Goliath down, but we also, before we say that we're feeling thirsty from all of anything salty, we need to have at least the location of the original mayor.
We're not going to kill the mayor. We're going to kill the Goliath.
No, yeah, we're gonna
Not-
try.
We
can't.
need the original mayor. We need to.
It doesn't sound like he is going to kill the mayor. I think that if we inform Chester
The mayor
that
might even
he
think
is
it's a
still
favor.
alive, I think
Indeed.
that
Sorry.
the former mayor is safe and he can be brought out later by a different means.
He might be safer in a cell somewhere.
good point.
Keep him away from the bureau. Yes, that's a good point, Ayla.
Tajid, do you agree?
At this point, I follow.
Say yes.
Yeah,
Who-
but you're
who
also
are you
your own
asking?
person.
Well, I told you that I would help you find the mayor, and that is what I'll do before I go to the college. Excuse me, it's very damp down here. You know,
Oh.
before I go to this laughably small college.
Maybe it'll be better after all this.
Maybe.
Do
So
you
I guess it would be. Sorry, Aylar. I guess it would be kind of up to you if our plan is no longer to find the mayor, if you're going to join us or not. And then-
Why is that? We're finding the mayor.
Yeah, why was that a conclusion drawn so fast?
You guys just said
No,
that
we
we
said
didn't
that
have time to find the mayor, and maybe he's safer in a cell.
No, that's not what we. That's not what we said.
I think what they meant, June, was to keep him in the cell and not in the room where everyone is fighting.
But the issue that Uridin brought up is that after we fight the Goliath, what is Cornelio gonna do to us? Is
He
gonna
might
give
even
us
think
the
that we
mayor or
have
not?
done him a favor. And he might just be caught up in all of this mess. We have no idea the history of these Frayes, Cornelio. He might just want to be a land-grabbing rich boy. We have no idea for this. So he probably wanted to get some muscle, not realizing who this person was, and now he might be under the sword, or the glaive, so to speak. We don't know this.
Okay.
And if we can take care of this Goliath, I think we can take care of the fancy boy.
I
Okay.
agree. I feel like you would be scared if we do take care of the Goliath.
I
The
also
point that. Go ahead,
that-
Ayla.
Tajit can search for the mayor while we are eating dinner.
I could be on
That's
the
a good
mayor's
idea.
search party while you were all enjoying your dinner.
That's a
And
good
then he
idea.
doesn't have to contemplate if he wants salted meat or whatever.
If you're
Ah,
willing to
fuck,
do that,
that's sin.
Tajid.
I can do that.
Well, Cinder's gonna try to come on in, and
Burn the place down?
I don't think he's gonna try to burn the place down. I think he's gonna try to take out the Goliath.
It was a pun on his name, but yes.
That's why I was
his
shaking my head.
sword. If I know anything about mercenaries like he is, his money, like he said, he is only in it for the coin. And his job he is getting paid for is to kill this Goliath, and that is it.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the Goliath is actually the puppet master for the mayor.
Sure.
That's
Okay,
what I
they-
said. Ecclesias is gonna stand up and he's kind of getting like frazzled, so I need to get some fresh air. These shoot. I need to go.
I think we have already agreed on our points. We
So
should
ultimate-
leave.
ultimately,
So
I
what?
think
what's
the
the next?
It sounds like enjoy a little bit in town that we can. I will try to dig up what I can for the mayor. In the meantime, But enjoy your dinner and be careful.
May the
One
light be
thing-
with you, Tajid.
One thing that I wanted to make clear is if our goal is to avoid a war, I think it is important that both the old and the new mayor stay alive at all costs.
I agree. That sounds good. I will definitely make sure that the mayor doesn't die.
We could hold the Lord Cornelio hostage.
We're not trying to start a war here.
Well, hostage for peace. That,
Does not work.
yeah, What I really, a point that we keep forgetting about, and I keep meaning to say, we keep talking about the Goliath. What about the jockey?
He goes down with the boat. He is powerful, but there's no way he's not going to fight with his friend.
Yeah, the jockey will show up and he will meet the same end as the Goliath.
No, I think the jockey is in charge. Well, maybe he's not in charge, but I think we keep forgetting.
He is in charge. He's in charge of the horses.
He is like Cinda said, he is very powerful, and we are just dancing in circles about the same problem.
Are we really going to spend the rest of our days down in this dank sewer?
We are walking.
I put my hand on Ecclesius' shoulder and I say, let's...
He's gone.
Oh, is he?
How did you move so fast? How did you move so fast?
Oh, I didn't realize.
No,
Anyway,
you're
either way,
good. Go
I say to the group and I say,
Let's, well, I'm going to read my book in between now and dinner, but I'll still say this. Let's go eat some salted meats or salted peanuts. I don't know.
Some pretzels.
Salted meat is
That's
Some
jerky.
salty pretzels.
I like pretzels.
Salted meat is just jerky. I feel like I'm.
Well, after this, you will have to show me what a pretzel is.
So we're
Um,
all on the same page, right?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
I do want to point
Look
out
around
one
to
thing.
everybody.
Yes, I agree with our plan so far, but Tajit, I want to make sure that you have an exit plan if things go haywire for yourself.
I will.
Don't stick around too long. I mean, I don't know what help we will be able to provide, so that's why I'm saying be careful.
I will do my best to look out for myself.
Again, I'm gonna try to memorize one distinct object on him.
And Tajid,
Yeah,
he
Like
has
a
the
bracelet
dagger,
or
the
one.
very
His dagger,
opulent dagger
yeah.
somewhere on him.
that one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, as you are all heading out of your sewer, and you contemplate how this battle is going to go, and potentially what message you're going to send to Chester about the whole situation, that is where we're going to end the session for the week.
Oh my
Oh.
Boy, am I excited for Wednesday now.
Internal fighting.
Well,
Ooh.
I was excited for that session.
It was a good session.
It was fun.
I went into this session thinking, all right, there's like 2 or 3 different angles here. And then you're like, here's
Here's
60
another.
more.
Yeah. Here's another. Here's
Here's some
another. Here's
lasagna,
another.
guys.
Yeah, I actually just found out what this whole world is. It's actually just a D20.
It's Black Mirror on steroids.
I was
Oh,
gonna say,
world's a D20.
we're on triangles and he's on fucking multi-polygon bullshit.
Playing 4D
He's
chess.
on Tesseract shit.
Yeah.
That is a GG,
cube.
Jag.
So we
But-
gotta find that. We gotta find the center of the dice.
One thing I will say, by the way, is we do have a stream that we are going to end up rating. But before we get to that, I do want to thank everybody that has stuck here with us. It is episode 20, which is awesome. We're one follower away from 100, which is something I didn't even know if we'd ever hit.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you showing up for our shenanigans and infighting and everything that comes along with D&D. Just a
Someone
reminder
help us.
as well is we have our new show Exploring the Archives, which is going to go live the Wednesday following this one, which I believe is the 10th. That will be 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll make posts about it on our socials. Make sure you come and hang out there. And if you have questions for the cast, because there will be a couple of us. We don't know who yet, but make sure you show up so you can ask questions too. If you have any like legitimate questions about what the characters think, what the players think about, the story, what I think about what's going on.
What our feet smell like.
What our feet
That's often
smell
overlooked
like.
in D&D.
Please don't ask that, though.
Baby powder.
But it'll be a lot of fun, and it'll be our, I mean, not the pilot, but the first reiteration of the show. So make
For the
y'all
second
come
one.
by. Yeah. So let me get the raid going. I believe I already thanked Shay, but thank you again, Shay, for the resubscribe.
Thank you.
So
Merch
the channel that we are raiding, they are Carney Sideshow is the name of their. They are on episode 14 of their campaign, and it looks like they're actually in person, which is awesome and good for them. And they're actually in some sort of combat. So make sure you go over there, give them some love. Wait for the Arcane Archives to put in chat #SporkArmy, and then everyone #SporkArmy.
Throw up those emotes too.
Yep, throw up
Yeah.
the emotes, give them some love, make sure that you give them a follow too, hang out and chat a little bit, and give
Bye,
them some
Dick
more love.
Witch.
See you later, Dick Witch.
See you, Dick Witch.
But thank you for everybody that's come out. It's been awesome, and we will see you next week for chapter 21 of the Arcane Archives. Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon.